We are
the Iowa High School
Athletic Association.
We're proud to bring you this broadcast of Iowa High School
Sports Championships,
featuring Iowa's student athletes, schools, and communities.
We support teamwork, sportsmanship, and education-based activities.
Good luck, and thanks for watching.
And good morning from the Unidome in Cedar Falls. Welcome to the 2025 IHSAA football semifinals presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. We're thrilled to be opening 4 days of semifinals here. Class 8 players starting things off. Bishop Garrigan and Audubon taking the field for a spot in next week's finals. It's a new era for the Athletic Association's broadcast, and we're excited. I'm Trevor Mader alongside Tom Peterson. And Tom, this should be a fun one here today.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about a couple of teams that are very familiar with coming to the Unidome. Bishop Garrigan's making their third straight appearance up here, and Audubon's making their third appearance over the past 7 years. So number 1 versus number 5 couldn't be more exciting. I know that.
And Tom, as a coach, you know what it takes to get here. It's always fun when you end your season in Cedar Falls.
Yeah, you know, it's a place that these kids have been working for 6 and 7 months. I'm sure the kids at home will enjoy that I said 6, 7. But no, it's a good opportunity for all of these guys.
Well, these 2 undefeated teams getting ready to go. We will too. We'll be back with semifinal football here on the Hy-Vee Championship Network.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, a 5th-generation farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Tom Keating, executive director of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. We're excited to have you join us for our state football championships.
As title sponsor of the Iowa High School Athletic Association, we're proud to support this fantastic event. At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we believe that strong farms and strong schools fuel strong futures. Iowa farmers are some of the most productive individuals in our state, working endlessly to grow and raise nutritious food that helps sustain the communities we all call home. Student athletes are also incredibly productive, dedicating countless hours to train and excel in their sports. Partnering with the Iowa High School Athletic Association allows us to celebrate the achievements of both groups while providing meaningful support to help Iowa's student athletes thrive.
Reaching the state football championships is no small feat, and it takes a strong support system. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we're able to honor students for their outstanding achievements, both on the field and in the classroom. They are committed to your success, helping our organization provide awards, grants, and scholarships to honor excellence in athletics and academics.
As Iowans, we have much to be proud of. Whether you're a student competing today or a fan cheering from home, we all play a role in making our state shine. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa High School Athletic Association,
congratulations on a fantastic season and best of luck inside the Dome.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision, to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Why am I seeing yield differences in only 2 of my fields?
Great question, Evan. I've taken some soil samples, and it looks like you might have some fertility issues, especially in that northern field. Take a look.
Nothing gets past you, Rick. Hey, how long have you been back there?
An agronomist never tells.
From personalized insights to year-round support, Channel agronomists always show up. Channel, all in, all season.
IHSAA Semifinal Football is brought to you by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the IHSAA, championing youth through sports and education, and by Cookies, epic sauces and bold seasonings. Remember, smart cookies use cookies. and by the Iowa Bankers Association. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all.
Welcome back to Cedar Falls. Class A players state semifinal action between Audubon and Bishop Garrigan about to begin. Trevor Mater alongside Tom Peterson. Tom, as we get ready for this much anticipated matchup, what are you looking forward to today?
Well, I can't wait to see the guys up front on both teams. Trevor, you know, Audubon, they're fortunate enough to be able to rotate 3 guys in on defense and 3 guys in on the offensive side, where Bishop Garrigan, they go with their top 3. So maybe that pays dividends for Audubon late in the third quarter, maybe not. It's something we'll have to wait and see.
And with that in mind, today's Keys to the Game presented by Delta Dental of Iowa for your smile, health, and for your community. Tom, as you can see there on the screen for Bishop Garrigan, it starts with the guys up front, as you mentioned, and they love to run the football.
Yeah, and you can't think of anybody better than Ethan Marceau at 6'2", 230 pounds. As you can see him, one of the captains going out there. They're going to feed him the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, so that is the Bishop Garrigan side under head coach Marty Wadley, the legendary coach, been leading them for over 30 years. And then Audubon, I know, and talking to head coach Sean Burke, same thing. Line of scrimmage is going to be big, and games like this on the turf, sometimes they come down to big plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Aiden Kiergaard over this season, Trevor, has just had multiple big plays. We're talking runs of over 40, 50, 60 yards. So it can't be, this is just a great game today.
Those are your Delta Dental keys to the game. Audubon won the toss. Bishop Garrigan will receive as Audubon defers. So the Golden Bears offense will get things going here. Both teams come in undefeated, 11-0. Bishop Garrigan, under the guidance of head coach Marty Wadley, they're making their 3rd consecutive trip to Cedar Falls. Audubon, under the guidance of head coach Sean Burks, they've been familiar to the surroundings here at the Unidome. This is their 3rd trip in 7 years, first time since 2021. But I know in talking to Coach Burks, some of the guys that were some of the players now were water boys on that team back in 2021. So they are familiar. And I think we're in store for a fun one here today. Again, winner will face the winner of our, I guess you'd call it nightcap, but the final game of the day between Woodbine and Gladbrook-Rhinebeck. Tom, can't ask for a better day of football.
No, I couldn't agree more. You got number 1 versus number 5, and then obviously you've got number 2 versus number 3 coming up a little bit later on. But, we've just got some explosive players here in this first game that I can't wait to watch here this morning.
2 very, very physical teams. They hang their hat on, as we saw in our keys to the game, they hang their hats on running the football and play in the trenches. And whoever does that better is likely going to be in the driver's seat when it's all said and done. We are about ready for kickoff here in the Unidome. This first quarter coverage brought to you by Iowa Farm Bureau, the proud title sponsor of the IHSAA, championing youth through sports and education. Orm Voigt will kick it away for the Audubon Wheelers, and at long last, this 8-player state semifinal about to begin, and we are off and running here in Cedar Falls, and this kick will go into the end zone for a touchback, and Bishop Garrigan will begin their first drive on the 15-yard line. This is a Bishop Garrigan offense led by quarterback Tate Furch, and it's been really, really good throughout the year.
Yeah, you look at their starters they've got up there up front with Schwab, Graves, Larrar, and then, like you had said, Tate Furch, he's just a magical player on the offense. He's a dual-threat quarterback.
Starting lineups presented by Hy-Vees. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Bishop Garrigan from their own 15-yard line. Furch, quarterback run, up the middle for about 5 yards, and that first down run always important, and Garrigan's going to have a 2nd and short. Hy-Vee, a proud partner of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Hy-Vee, where there is a helpful smile in every aisle. 2nd down coming up for Bishop Garrigan.
Great push there by their front 3.
So 2nd and 5 coming up for the Golden Bears after the 5-yard run. Furch will have Ethan Marceau on his right hip, and he will give Marceau. Marceau gets a first down up to the 32-yard line. A gain of 7. Will be a first down for Bishop Garrigan. 2 rushing plays netting 12 yards. And Tom, now we see a look at this feisty Audubon defense.
Yeah, you're looking at Larson. He was player of the game last week. But the guy that they got to make sure that they focus on, the Golden Bears, they want to make sure they know where Austin Christensen is at all over the football field. But they're more than one-dimensional. They've got players, playmakers all over the field for them with Sorensen, Weber, and then the rest of the backfield.
First and 10 coming up for Bishop Garrigan from their own 32-yard line. Furch will put a running back out, and he'll run for about a yard or two. So a 1-yard gain by quarterback Tate Furch, a multi-year starter for the Golden Bears. Rushed for just under 1,000 yards. And Tom, he is our Let's Go Lighting spotlight player of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking at a kid that has over 2,000 total yards of offense this season. He's got 38 touchdowns on the offense as well as 2 on defense. It's a guy that can hurt you through the air and obviously with his legs running the football.
So 2nd down and 9 coming up for Bishop Garrigan, and they will hand it off Marceau. Marceau fighting for extra yardage, gets maybe a yard or two before that Audubon defense gobbles him up. Mason Kasperbauer, Austin Christensen among those in there on the tackle. And Tom, it really feels like 3rd down could be pivotal today.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to get into 3rd and long situations, especially, early on. But, that's just a great push. Once again, by that front 3 up there for Audubon, they're getting the job done. Multiple people to the ball carrier.
So 3rd and 9 now for Garrigan. Furch will put a man in motion. It's Michael Joyce. Fakes to him. Furch running right side. Will throw across his field, and it's caught inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. There to make the catch, Weston Rosenmeyer, his 14th of the year, but hold the phone because there's a flag in midfield.
Yeah, I think he was across the line of scrimmage when he let go of the ball there, but Audubon's definitely going to have to do a better job of containing him on the outside.
So as we await the penalty marker that stands right at midfield near the UNI logo that could neutralize.
Legal forward pass on the offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty and loss of down.
And Tom, the really big thing there is the loss of down. That makes it 4th down.
Yeah, absolutely. But, just a great job right there by Furch. He got outside. He actually had room to run there, Trevor. He could have taken it for the 1st down. He did see somebody downfield, but unfortunately just passed the line of scrimmage there before he let it go.
So he's stopped by the Audubon defense, and Bishop Garrigan looking like they'll punt it away. Michael Joyce is their punter, as he has been throughout the year. So first defensive stop of the day goes to the Wheelers. Joyce with the punt, end over end punt, drifting away from the Audubon return, and it'll take a nice bounce inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. And Tom, you've been in these kind of games, field position always very important.
Yeah, that's just a great job there of special teams with the punter angling the ball toward the sideline there. And, now you're going to get your first look here at Audubon. Aiden Kiergaard has been very dynamic this year. He's able to do a lot of special things, and once he gets into the open field, you better have people there because he's extremely fast.
Kiergaard, just a sophomore, kind of got thrust into the starting role with some injuries early on in the season, and he has been really good. 1,418 yards and 32 touchdowns this year on the ground. He's also thrown for 12 scores. We see our Audubon starters presented by Javi. First down run. Kiergaard put the ball on the ground, and Bishop Garrigan's on top of it, it looks like. On the far side, and a turnover goes Garrigan's way. Who's coming up with that one was Carter Schwab, who hops on it.
Yeah, that's something that, you got to make sure you're covering the ball there with 2 hands. Just a good pop there from him coming up to make the play.
So the first turnover of the game goes Garrigan's way, and they're going to take over in great field position on the Audubon 3-yard line after Audubon fumbles on their first play. So the Golden Bears, with their second offensive possession, they'll line up in an I. Not a formation that they've done a lot this year, and Furch will just run it forward, trying to find a blocker, and gets about a yard or two. It makes it a very, very, very manageable 2nd and short from the 2.
Yeah, I see them getting ready to probably hand the ball off here, to Ethan Marceau. Like I said, he's very difficult to bring down. That 6'2", 230 pounds. They only got about a yard and a half, but you just never know, but I know that he's a force that's going to be reckoned with all day long.
So Garrigan trying to capitalize on the Audubon turnover, and they will put it in the belly of Marceau, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bishop Garrigan. Ethan Marceau with his 26th rushing score of the year, and the Golden Bears take advantage of that Audubon fumble.
Yeah, just great push once again on the left side of their offensive line. Obviously, he's able to get into the end zone pretty comfortably there.
So now Bishop Garrigan, as they have typically done throughout the season, as you see a lot in the 8-man game, they will go for 2, trying to grow their lead. Furch will toss it, trying to get to the edge, and unable to do so is Carter Sink. And
Great job there by them stretching that play out. The Wheelers on the defensive side all the way out to the sideline.
So first touchdown of the day goes Garrigan's way as they take advantage of the Audubon fumble at a very, very short field that they're able to work with, capped off by a rushing touchdown by Ethan Marceau.
Yeah, it's just going to be hard to stop him in those short yardage situations.
So it is a 6-0 Bishop Garrigan lead here early on in this Class A player state semifinal. First quarter coverage brought to you by Iowa Farm Bureau, the sole title of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Iowa Farm Bureau believes in competitive play and cultivating individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. By investing in Iowa's youth, Farm Bureau investing in Iowa's future. Bishop Garrigan about to kick the football off after that touchdown, and Audubon going to go to work for their second time of the day. Audubon under the guidance of head coach Sean Burks. See him there momentarily on your screen at home. A longtime coach of the Wheelers.
Resume is very impressive for Mr. Burks. You know, he's entering, it's his 13th year. He's got over 100 wins, but kids here, you know, it's just a different time, and for Aiden Kiergarten, I know that he'll be better here on this next drive.
Returnable kick for Audubon. Mason Kasperbauer brings it up to around the 20-yard line, and now the Wheelers offense will go to work. And Tom, I know you've been in situations before, I'm sure, in your years of coaching, as we take a look at the Audubon lineup presented by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. When you have a turnover early on in the game, when you have a young quarterback, what's the message?
You just got to, you know, he's got to be able to go on to the next play. You know, flush what just happened. There you got the Bishop Garrigan defense led by middle linebacker Ethan Marceau. So, you know, they're going to have their hands full, but I expect big things still here today.
Kiergaard will put a man in motion across the formation, and Kiergaard gets about a yard before being stood up, and guess who? Ethan Marceau on cue makes the tackle. Marceau has been a force on both sides of the ball. 44.5 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and 1 interception this year, and has been a multi-year starter to a Garrigan team that's had a lot of success during his high school career.
Yeah, watching him on game film, you know, when there's certain people, Trevor, that just stick out when you watch them on film, and boy, is he one of them. He's able to read his keys all the way into the backfield, so he's obviously done his homework.
Second down and 9 now coming up for this Audubon offense. Kiergaard wanting to throw, pass caught, Brody Weber close to the first down. And it looks like he got it. This is an Audubon offense, Tom. They don't pass it a ton, but when they have, they've been efficient this year.
Yeah, you know, and he went to Weber there. You know, his prime target is Austin Christensen, but, you know, just a little bit of an under route there that he was able to get the ball there and get a first down for the Wheelers.
12th catch of the year for Brody Weber, the junior tight end. Moves the chains for Audubon. In Kiergaard, their sophomore quarterback with a running back on his left hip. Will give it to said running back, Mason Kasperbauer. Kasperbauer fighting for a couple of yards, breaks out of a tackle, and turns about a 4-yard run into a 6-yard run. And a hard-fought run by Mason Kasperbauer will make it a second and short. Kasperbauer just a smidge under 800 yards on the year coming into today.
Yeah, he's a very physical runner, Trevor. But one of the things I've noticed already that I'm seeing with Bishop Garrigan is they're running a 4-2 defense. In the previous films that I had seen them play this year, they primarily are in a 3-3. So just maybe something that they caught from the last game that Audubon played.
Second down now coming up for Audubon after that feisty run by Kasperbauer. And they will run it Kiergaard. Kiergaard bouncing left side, gets a block, and gets the first down. And that Audubon run game starting to settle in a little bit after the run by Aiden Kiergaard.
Yeah, he's right there, you know, just following his lead blocker there that got out in front of him. You know, you've got Austin Christensen, number 81, a wide receiver he's just so dynamic in everything that he does.
So a first down for Audubon near midfield, just on the south side. As we get to the midway point of the first quarter, our first of 2 A-player state semifinals here today. Kiergaard with nobody back there with him. We'll put Kasperbauer in motion. Kiergaard, quarterback run, bounces right side, has a block, and gets a positive gain on first down up to the 26-yard line. And it'll set up second and short. And when you're a team that loves to run the football like Audubon, you live for those second and short situations.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, great job there. Sullivan McLean, he pulled there on the trap. It's one of those things that those linebackers are going to have to make sure that they're reading those guards all the way into the backfield.
So second down now coming up for Audubon as they continue to matriculate on their second possession of the game. Kiergaard, the sophomore quarterback,
changing the play,
running things. It'll be a quarterback run. Kiergaard up the middle, gets the first down to the 21-yard line. Aiden Kiergaard, to be expected, going to get a workload today.
Yeah, he must have seen something that he liked there. It looked like he audibled right there to get out of that situation, maybe that he didn't feel comfortable with. But, you know, once again, just a good push up front from Audubon.
Moves the chains for Audubon once again, and the Wheelers put together a good drive here after Garrigan capitalized on the Audubon turnover earlier on in this quarter. So over 5.5 minutes to go here in the first. Kiergaard, play fake, pass, caught, Weber, all kinds of room, breaks out of a tackle and is inside the 10, and knocked out of bounds inside the 5. Brody Weber showing off the muscles to move the chains.
Yeah, you know, it almost looks like a little bit of a mesh route, Trevor, to where, you know, they're doing a cross a little bit, but they're getting him on an under route all the way across, and out of that 4-2, 4-3 look that you're seeing from Bishop Garrigan, they're able to get him out into some space there.
First and goal now for Audubon after the big catch and run by Brody Weber. Carson Wessel in at quarterback for Audubon, or in the backfield at least. He was slated to be their primary starter this year. Takes the snap. Wessel gets about a yard before being stood up. That was big Carson Kramer in there to deny Wessel. Tom, a lot of times over the years, I know in watching Coach Sean Burks and the Audubon Wheelers, they've ran a lot of two-quarterback systems over the years, and occasionally they'll put Carson Wessel in.
Yeah, you know, maybe just a little bit bigger, giving them a different look. Obviously, you want to try to keep the defense on their toes. Makes them obviously think as they're doing something different.
So now a second and goal coming up for Audubon on their second drive of the game as they are into the red zone. Kiergaard, there's movement, and we'll see which side that is. Of course, when there's movement on both sides, you always get the finger pointing. Looks like that's going to be on Audubon, and back them up 5 yards in what was a second and goal from the 4. It's going to become
dead
a
ball,
second goal from the
false
9.
start, 63 on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Tom,
second down.
As a coach, does that 5-yard penalty, does that change how you attack
No,
these extra downs?
and I don't think it will for Sean Burks because, you know, they're a primarily run football team. To me, they're in 4-down territory. You've still got 3 plays to get 9 yards.
So on the second goal after the penalty, Kiergaard with nobody back there with him in the shotgun. Quarterback run gets most of what they lost on the penalty before the Garrigan pile gobbles them up again. Kramer, Marceau, and company among those in there for the tackle. This is a Bishop Garrigan defense that has allowed just 9 points per game, ranking number 3 in the state. And well, maybe sometimes there's a narrative around 8-player teams not playing defense. Not the case with the 4 teams that are in the semifinals here today.
And especially with the guy that's in the middle with Carson Kramer at 6'4", 260. But looks like they brought in a little bit more speed here for this third down attempt.
So third down and goal to go for Audubon from the 5-yard line. Kiergaard will put a man in motion. It's Kasterbauer. Kiergaard run, gets a block on the edge, breaks out a tackle and is into the end zone. Touchdown Wheelers. Aiden Kiergaard with his 33rd rushing score of the year, and a very methodical drive from Audubon counters Bishop Garrigan.
Absolutely. You got Brody Weber leading the play up there through, along with Austin Christensen. You know, just once again, it's pretty impressive with how their ends are blocking, not just their front 3.
Like Garrigan, Audubon typically goes for 2. They do give you a little bit of, as you can see on your screen, a little bit of a different look out of that 2-point conversion. Say offset the line to the left side. Kiergaard running left side, and he's into the end zone for a successful 2-point try. And it's an 8-point possession for the Wheelers. And Tom, you know, after the early turnover, didn't look chicken on that drive.
You got to like where you're at right now with Audubon. You know, it started, you know, I can't remember, from their own 30. They were able to run the football, mixed in a few play-action passes to Brody Weber going across the middle on that under route. Obviously got him down into position to take a 2-point lead here.
Yeah, that drive, 10 plays, spanning 10 plays, 60 yards, just a smidge under 5 minutes, and capped off with a touchdown run by Aiden Kiergaard, his 33rd of the year, to give the Wheelers an 8-6 lead, and now they will get ready to kick it away with Orm Voigt, and Garrigan will get their 3rd try at things. If you're just tuning in, Audubon fumbled on their first play. Garrigan scored soon after. Then Audubon a methodical drive down the field to take the lead 8-6. First of 2 games here in Cedar Falls today. Winner of this will face either Woodbine or Gladbrook Rhinebeck for all the marbles next Thursday. So Voigt with the kick, and that'll be into the end zone for a touchback. So Tom, we've seen 2 looks at the Garrigan offense. What have we learned so far?
Well, they're going to continue to run the football. I don't see them changing a lot, especially with Tate First back there at quarterback. I just think that he's another one of those kids that is very dynamic. He's able to run the football. As you saw earlier, he escaped from the pocket. He can throw on the run. Just a fantastic athlete. I look for it to be a heavy dose of him and Marceau.
First down for Garrigan to start this drive. Here's Marceau running hard for about 4 yards, maybe 5. And again, it all predicates on first down, giving themselves a second to manage.
Yeah, just a great counter there. They pulled 2 guys, and I don't know about you, Trevor, but I don't want a couple of those bigs coming at me like they are right there. So, they're just really paving the way for them right now.
Second down now coming up for Garrigan after the gain of 5. Furch, they'll spread everybody out. He's in the shotgun all by his lonesome. 1 receiver on each side. Furch, quarterback run up the middle, carries a defender a couple of yards. Good job by Tate Furch to use the legs to fight off that would-be tackler and move the chains.
Yeah, Caden Graves up there, center. As you'll see, he's just getting a great push right now on Audubon's defense. Isaac Sorensen, he's opening up that hole on the right-hand side for them. It's something that seems like they have seen something there, Trevor. Maybe they're going to continue to attack the right side.
This is a Garrigan offense. It's got some beef up front. They go 245, 210, 260. Fresh set of downs for the Golden Bears. Here's Marceau running off right tackle, right guard for a couple of yards. Let's give a little bit of love to those offensive linemen. Carter Schwab, Caden Graves, and Nate Lear, the big guys paving the way for a very, very physical Garrigan offense.
Yeah, and you can see what they do once again. They've obviously seen something on film here, Trevor, because they continue to attack the right side of Audubon. So it wouldn't surprise me if we've seen an adjustment here pretty soon.
Second down and 7 now coming up for Garrigan, and Furch will run it left side. Got a nice block, has the first down, spins past the tackler into Audubon territory and scoots out of bounds just outside the 30-yard line. And Tate Furch hitting, I think it's the circle button if you're playing Madden. I can't remember, but he hit the circle button.
Yeah, it was supposed to go inside. He just bounced it out there. That's just a great job with a great spin move. Just using his athleticism once again to get around the corner.
Got a nice block out of the edge by wide receiver Michael Joyce, and it is a first down run for Furch into Audubon territory, the 31-yard line, as we approach the final few minutes of the first quarter. Furch, the Musco Spotlight player of the game. Garrigan's line trying to get set on this first down, and they do, and here's a give to Marceau. Marceau fighting for yardage up to the 26-yard line. Going to be hard to tackle Ethan Marceau one-on-one throughout the day.
Yeah, you're going to have to make sure that you're trying to come in low on him, or it's going to be a long day for you. He has so much power there. He's able just to carry people for an extra 2 yards.
Makes it a second and manageable now coming up for Garrigan. Left side appears to be the strong side. It's Furch running up the middle for a couple of yards to the 23-yard line. We'll make it a third and very short. And Tom, sometimes when you're an offense, you love to run the ball. Third and short is when you can catch the defense off guard.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're going to be looking, obviously, for the run here. Maybe just a little bit of a play-action pass, but they're going with an off-balance to the right-hand side. Usually this is a handoff.
3rd and 2, and the right side looks to be the strong side of this I formation. And they will put it in the belly of Marceau, and he's got the first down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Jorgen Nowatzki made what could have been a touchdown-saving tackle. But Ethan Marceau picks up a gain of 8, and it's a fresh set of downs for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, you can see Furch looked over at Coach, and they did change that play right there. It was designed to go to the right. They saw something right there and went back left.
So a first down for Garrigan as they continue to march down the field in the final moments of this first quarter. And off Marceau again. Marceau left side carries the defender inside the 10. to the 8-yard line. Tom, what'd you see there?
Well, it's, they're just going to continue to do the same thing. They're going to lean on Audubon's front three. One of the things you don't want to see are some kids putting their hands on their knees already in the first quarter, and I'm seeing that right now down there in the Audubon defense.
Really good block by tight end Carter McGregor on that to open up the crease for Marceau. Down to the final 30 seconds of this quarter. Could be the final play of the quarter. Birch will hand it off. Guess who? Marceau. Marceau for a couple of yards down around the 5-yard line. Brody Weber and Austin Christensen in there to make the tackle, and it'll make it a 3rd and short coming up for Garrigan from the 5-yard line with 10 seconds to go in the quarter. They're lining up like they might be able to get one more play in before the frame. And they will, and it's a quarterback run. Furch about a yard or two, but I don't know that he got the first down. And they are going to move the chains. It was right near the chains, and they give it to him. And that is how the quarter will end. So after one, it is Audubon 8, Garrigan 6. You're watching the Iowa High School Athletic Association football semifinals presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. More 8-player action on the Hy-Vee Championship Network after this break.
What does commitment mean? To protect what's important? To invest in the future? It means providing peace of mind. It's what reliable people do. It's what local banks do. Banking in Iowa goes beyond transactions. Banks work to help people and small businesses succeed. And Iowa banks are proud to be trusted partners in building confident banking relationships. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all.
Professional Educators of Iowa, founded by teachers for teachers in 1981.
What I like is that it is former administrators, teachers. They are people that are invested into, hey, let's make something great better.
PEI, the Professional Association for Iowa's Independent Educators.
The best thing about Professional Educators of Iowa is it's right in our backyard. It feels like home.
Now more than ever, educators are choosing PEI.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision, to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
We're not just lighting a stadium. We're creating lasting memories. We're not just installing a mini pitch. We're empowering youth to learn and grow. We're not just retrofitting an airport. We're creating an environment where workers can feel safer. This is why, whether it's a game down the street, professional stadiums around the world, or treasured monuments and landmarks, you always know when it's must go.
Health powers life, from the delightfully routine to the truly uncharted. When injuries, illness, or normal wear and tear lead to joint pain or discomfort, count on advanced orthopedic care at Mercy One. From joint replacement to sprains and fractures to physical therapy, our team can help you get back to the activities you enjoy, ensuring you're ready no matter what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
Nothing matters more than our community and our patients.
So when flu season's here, I love that I get to help protect them.
When you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you can earn a 20-cent fuel saver.
Scheduling your flu shot appointment is quick and convenient.
Because you can just walk up when you're shopping or schedule an appointment, whichever works for you.
Allowing you to pick a time that's best for you and your family.
Keeping families and communities healthy feels good. Visit your Hy-Vee pharmacy, get your flu shot, and earn a 20-cent fuel saver today.
IHSAA Semifinal Football on the Hy-Vee Championship Network is brought to you by Hy-Vee, a proud partner of IHSAA. Hy-Vee, where there is a helpful smile in every aisle. And by Sukup Manufacturing Company, the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. And by the Iowa Farm Bureau. From rural roots to statewide pride, Iowa Farm Bureau proudly supports student athletes across Iowa.
We're back for the second quarter here on the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Bishop Garrigan with a 1st and goal to go on the 3-yard line to start the second quarter, and they will hand it off Ethan Marceau. It's about a yard or so on the first play of the second frame, and Tom, with 1 quarter in the books, what have we learned?
Well, it's things that we already knew coming into this game. You look at what Bishop Garrigan has done between Furch and Marceau. They have 18 attempts now. They're going to keep feeding those two the football. Audubon, it's been a heavy dose of Kiergaard so far.
So now 2nd and goal coming up for Bishop Garrigan. So they try to regain the lead here. Furch will hand it off. Guess who? Marceau. And Marceau scores another touchdown. And it's a 12-8 Bishop Garrigan lead. Another methodical drive, maybe kind of the narrative of the day so far.
Yeah, I really think so. It's something you and I touched up on earlier on, Trevor, with Marceau. He's going to get a lot of touches. It's early on here in the second quarter. Long way to go, but I know that's a guy that I would keep feeding the football if I could.
2nd touchdown of the day, 27th of the season for Ethan Marceau. Garrigan will go for 2, unsuccessful on their first try. Play fake. Furch will tuck it and run, and he can walk in, and it's an 8-point possession for the Golden Bears. And we've had 3 straight drives, one way or another, that have ended in points. And Tom, I mentioned, it's been a very methodical drive. That's the drive that started all the way back at the 35-yard line for Bishop Garrigan.
Yeah, and both teams are going to continue to run the football, Trevor. They're not going to change anything just because of who it is they're playing. That's their identity from the beginning of the season. I don't see them doing a lot of different things here today either. And obviously when you look at what they're doing, out of the I formation, you're going to have to stop it. You're going to have to make some adjustments. I do look for Audubon to do that, but, currently he's already at 11 carries for 41 yards. That's pretty impressive. Only 3.7 yards per carry, but it definitely is going to weigh on them midway through the third quarter and the fourth.
So Bishop Garrigan with the touchdown run by Ethan Marceau makes it a 14-8 lead for the Golden Bears. Hy-Vee, a proud partner of the Iowa High School Athletic Association, bringing you all 14 games this week on the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. So you see longtime Garrigan head coach Marty Wadley on the sideline, sharp-dressed man there leading the Golden Bears.
Very impressive. 34 years at the helm. That says a lot. He's got former players as his assistant coaches also. So the continuity is obviously there within the program.
This will be a returnable kick for Audubon, fielded around the 6-yard line. Jorgen Nowatzki with the return. Good return up to the 30, and the Wheelers offense will be in business. I mentioned, Coach Wadley wearing the shirt and tie. Did you ever think about doing that?
No. I'm not a tie guy, Trevor. I think I might pull it off, and probably after 1 or 2 plays. So
I actually asked Coach Wadley about that this week, and he said growing up he idolized the great Jackie Sherrill, the head coach at Mississippi State, and when he got into coaching, his friends, kind of as a gag gift, bought him a shirt and tie.
That's awesome.
Said he's used, I think, 5 ties over the 37-year coaching career. First down for Audubon. Kiergaard run up the middle for a couple of yards to the 38-yard line. To the 33-yard line, and it'll be a second short coming up for Audubon. They'll actually give him about another yard out of that. And Tom, to the surprise of probably nobody that looked at this matchup, both teams really trying to run the football right now.
Yeah, and like I said before, you've got to be able to read your keys at the second level with Bishop Garrigan, and they're doing an excellent job right now of reading those 2 guards.
So on second down, Kiergaard with a friend of the backfield with him. Play fake, Kiergaard wanting to throw. It's a screen that was caught by Austin Christensen, but that was sniffed out well by the Garrigan defense. There was a lot of traffic in there.
Very fortunate right there. Maiden Miller just made an absolutely fantastic play by reading it. Excuse me, number 44, Matt Besh, he did that there to make, give the opportunity for Miller to come in and make that play. So just a great read by the defense.
Yeah, Besh just about got a hand on that. So now a 3rd down and 6 coming up for Audubon from their own 34-yard line early here in the second quarter. Kiergaard again out of a shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Quick pass is caught. That was a laser to Mason Katzerbauer, who's fighting for the first down near the marker. We'll have to check the spot, but that had a lot of mustard on it. Did that throw from Aiden Kiergaard, and Castlerower makes the catch. And at the bare minimum, it's going to make this a 4th and very, very short, which it looks like it will be.
And this is something I'm really looking at Audubon trying to do here going forward, is mixing up, a lot of their formations. I think they can have success getting the ball to the outside and the perimeter, but if they continue to go up the middle, the bigs right now from Garrigan are getting the job done.
4th and 1 for the Wheelers from near midfield, and they're going to go out of the shotgun. The running back on the left side, it's Carter Obermeyer. And we got a whistle and a timeout taken on the Audubon side. Coach Sean Burks maybe just wanted to look. So they'll talk it over. And Tom, I know we've talked about this off the air before, but so often in today's day and age, you see teams don't go under center as much in short yardage situations.
Yeah, just not as comfortable. Some of the kids, if you put them in this situation right now, there's a good chance you can bobble the snap. So, you just got to continue to do what it is you do. And right now they're going to go out of the shotgun. I look for them, probably a power to one of the sides with a lead blocker for Kiergaard. It's just got to make sure you got to get off the football here if you're Audubon.
So a 4th and short from near midfield coming up for the Wheelers. Bishop Garrigan leading this game 14-8. Garrigan went 3 and out on their first drive. Audubon fumbled deep in their own territory. Garrigan took advantage, shoved the short field, but Audubon countered, and then Garrigan countered as well. Now Audubon trying to counter the counter to a counter, so to speak.
It's just, hey, it's two great football teams, Trevor. This is what you and I were hoping for. Obviously up here doing this for the first time, so this has been fantastic so far. 4th and short coming up for the Wheelers. Kiergaard, quarterback run. Actually, it's Carson Wessel back into the game for the quarterback run, and he's got the first down to the 40-yard line. I mentioned Carson Wessel had been the starter at different times last year. I know he got hurt in the preseason. And he's a really, really big part of their defense, so they've kind of emphasized playing him defensively, but occasionally they have some packages installed for him, like we just saw in that 4th and short. Yeah, it's just once again to give Bishop Garrigan a different look. First down for Audubon early in the second quarter. Kiergaard back in. Quarterback puts a man in motion, and we got a whistle and a flag. I think we had some movement down here on the left side of the line.
Dead ball.
And that is
ball start.
That is the case. So that 1st and 10.
5-yard penalty
becomes a 1st and 15 after the false starts on the Audubon side. The Wheelers 11-0 on the year under the guidance of head coach Sean Burks, making their 4th state semifinal trip, 3rd under Coach Burks. They beat Lennox Montezuma and Iowa Valley to get to this point. 1st and long now for Audubon. They'll put a man in motion right to left. Kiergaard, quarterback run, gets back where they lost him more along the sideline. Kiergaard, 20, 10, touchdown, Audubon. Aiden Kiergaard ties us up. Yeah, one of the keys that Sean Burks had talked about are the big plays. And right there, it's no different. You got Kiergaard. He just found a way to get through. Obviously, he had a couple of lead blockers. You got number 62 pulling along with Christensen going up through the frame. Just an outstanding run, and his speed, Trevor, on the outside is going to do some special things. Second touchdown of the day, 34th of the season for the sophomore quarterback, Aiden Kiergaard. Now Audubon will go for 2. They were successful on their first 2-point try. And a success here would give them a 2-point lead. A very interesting look on the 2 points. They really load the left side. And Kiergaard will pitch right side. Obermeyer wanting to throw, and it's incomplete. Went to Brody Weber, but they couldn't connect. Tom, before we dive into kind of our drive recap here, take me through that formation and what our listeners might have seen at home. Well, it's really difficult for defenses to line up appropriately as far as being gap sound, Trevor, in those situations. It's different looks from a defense, when you're looking at them all the way through to the backfield. If you're not gap sound in 8-man football, you're going to get burned. So right there, it's something different to overpower one side. And, if you see something to the outside, Trevor, you got to exploit it. They must not have seen it there. So Audubon goes 5 plays, 50 yards. They get the quick score on the rushing touchdown from Aiden Kiergaard, and the Wheelers now lead. Well, it's now tied 14-14, 8:47 to go here in the first half.
And something to keep an eye on, Trevor, I noticed there that Tate Furch in that touchdown play got banged up a little bit on the defensive side. He came off after that, a little banged up, so hopefully he's able to get back out and continue to play.
Warren Voigt getting ready to kick off for the Wheelers. Looks like Michael Joyce among the returners back there for Bishop Garrigan. Third kick of the day for Voigt, the senior kicker, and this one will be returnable for Joyce inside the 5. Joyce bouncing right side, 20, 25, and gets wrestled out of bounds by Jorgen Nowatzki at around the 30-yard line. And Bishop Garrigan will go to work. And Tom, they haven't made much secret about what they want to do offensively. They want to run the football.
Yeah, you know, you've already seen it, Trevor. They have 19 rushes currently, just between the two guys, you know, their main guys in Marceau and Furch. And like I said, you know, Furch he's a little slow right now going out. So hopefully, you know, he can get his feet underneath him and he's ready to go here.
So first down for Garrigan, their own 30-yard line. One receiver flanked out to the left side of your screen. And they will feed Marceau. Marceau might have slipped a little bit as he cut upfield, but gets a couple of yards. Big Isaac Sorensen among those in there on the tackle. He made the game-saving tackle in their quarterfinal win over Iowa Valley to get here. You know, we talked about the beef that Bishop Garrigan's got up front offensively. Audubon's also got some size up front of the defensive side.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're able to rotate many people. I think their depth could help them later in the game, as I said earlier, but obviously we're still early here in the second quarter.
Second down now for Garrigan. Furch will go under center, one back behind him. Marceau doesn't get much. Austin Christensen in there to make the tackle. Christensen has been a workhorse defensively for Audubon this year. 63.5 tackles, 16.5 for loss, 4 sacks. And really does a good job of wrapping up Marceau there.
Yeah, and it's the one guy, if you're Bishop Garrigan at the second level, Trevor, you have got to locate him. His athleticism, and I'm more impressed with how he reads his keys. If you watch him from a linebacker standpoint, his first step is immaculate.
Timeout taken. Bishop Garrigan, I believe, seeing something they wanted to talk over. And a big play here on 3rd and 7. Put the old coaching cap on, Tom. What are you drawing up here if you're Coach Marty Wadley?
Well, and, you know, Audubon, they're going to go back into, you know, one of their zone coverages. That's usually what Mr. Burks has done throughout his career. I don't see anything different. You know, one of the things I've noticed on film is slot receivers can usually get open. There are some pockets that are there, but obviously everything's got to click. So, you know, they brought a couple of their guys off the field. So we'll see if they maybe spread the field here just a little bit.
Bishop Garrigan 11-0 on the year under the guidance of head coach Marty Wadley. They were a state champion in 2023, got the semifinals last year, and back in Cedar Falls again. You see the Class A player semifinal bracket, Garrigan and Audubon starting things here today, and then later on, Woodbine, Gladbrook, Rhinebeck. 2 explosive offenses will go at it in the second part of our doubleheader. So out of the timeout, we have a 3rd and 7 coming up for Bishop Garrigan. They'll put a man in motion. Birch wanting to throw back left side. Pass is caught by Weston Rosenmeyer. And gets a couple of yards out of that, but good job by the Audubon defense to not let that play break for more. And a very interesting decision coming up for Garrigan here on 4th down.
Yeah, he actually had a blocker out there, and he could have cut that back. If he cuts that back inside, he definitely has a first down.
He bounced it to the sideline, and Jorgen Nowatzki able to make the tackle. So Garrigan going to go for it, it looks like, on 4th down from their own territory. Might just be a hard count situation, and that appears to be what it was as Coach Marty Wadley calls timeout. And again, Tom, put on the coaching cap. You going for it here?
No, I just feel the defense that they've got, you had already mentioned it earlier, you know, they only give up 9 points a game. Both of these teams are excellent in every phase. And so, to me, I'm punting the ball away, giving your defense the opportunity to try to stop Audubon. I know the last couple of times they haven't been successful, but, you know, you just got to, whatever they do, you know, just continue to be you is what I would do. But before in that last play, Audubon's defensive back there, Trevor, he just made an outstanding play because, like I said, they cut that back up inside. He has big yards, so outstanding play there.
By the way, Garrigan's path to today featured dominant wins over Kingsley Pearson, North Union, and Don Bosco. Bears 11-0 on the year, and they have been very, very good. You see their total path. It's not easy to beat Don Bosco in the postseason, as you can attest to. And Garrigan, in the second half of that quarterfinal, made it look pretty easy.
Yeah, Don Bosco, I watched that game on film, throughout the first half. They had chances, and all the way up through the third quarter, they are going for it.
Now, offense going to stay on the field for Garrigan on this 4th and 4. Furch back to pass. Downfield has a man. Rosenmeyer overthrew him. Rosenmeyer had a step on his defender. Just a little too much air under that one. And it's a turnover on downs for Garrigan and a big stop for the Audubon defense.
Yeah, he did have him. He had a couple of steps on his defender there, but just slightly overthrown there from Furch. I'm sure it's something that they'll come back to later in this game, because it's things like that. You obviously you have your assistant coaches are writing those things down.
They had a relatively clean pocket with a turnover on downs. So put the Wheelers in business at the 36-yard line on the Garrigan side of the field. Here. Just over midway through the first quarter. Kiergaard, quarterback run up the middle for a couple of yards before the pile pulls him back. Carter Schwab and Tank Furch among those in there for the tackle. Second down coming up for the Wheelers. Got about 2 yards. That hole that Aiden Kiergaard had to run through closed up rather quickly.
Yeah, it did. You had McLean pulling there along with Christensen, but great job once again by the second level.
So second down now coming up for Audubon. Kiergaard in a shotgun, nobody back there with them. Quarterback run, Kiergaard trying to go left side, and he'll get up around the 30-yard line before scooting out of bounds. And a third and manageable coming up for the Wheelers after the 4-yard run by Aiden Kiergaard.
Yeah, it's one of the few times, Trevor, they've actually been able to get outside. That's where you'd like to get him as much as you possibly can so he can utilize his speed.
Got outside once earlier, and it worked pretty well for him on that 44-yard touchdown run. Third and short coming up for Audubon in Garrigan territory. Just under 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Kiergaard will put Mason Kasperbauer in motion. Kiergaard wanting to run, wasn't a lot there. Gets a couple of yards, and now a 4th and short coming up on the Audubon side.
Tried some misdirection there. Obviously, you're trying to get Kasperbauer going in motion to get the defense to lean, but just a great job of standing your ground there by Bishop Garrigan. And I said it earlier before, being gap sound in 8-man football and 11, it doesn't really matter. If you're not where you're supposed to be, it's going to be a long day for you. So big play here.
Weston Rosenmeyer there to make the third down tackle, and now we've got a 4th down coming up for the Audubon Wheelers, with 6:10 to go here in the first half. So Audubon's defense mowed its neck and got a 4th down stop moments ago. Garrigan trying to return the favor. Kiergaard, nobody back there with him. We'll put Kasperbauer in motion left to right. Movement up front, Garrigan, and that might have been on the Garrigan side to net 5 free yards and a first down. We'll obviously have to wait for Mr. Official to tell us.
Dead ball, encroachment.
And it is
number 5
encroachment
on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
On
First down.
Bishop Garrigan, it's going to net a first down for the Wheelers.
Yeah, just a little bit unfortunate there. Just barely jumped offsides. But, just understanding the situation at that time. And I know that the coaches reiterate that. But, they're 14 to 18 years old. Things like that are going to happen. So, next play.
First down for Audubon. After the offsides prompts a first down, Wheelers now have the ball at the Garrigan 23-yard line. Again, they'll put Kasperbauer in motion. Kiergaard one to run right side, and will lose a couple of yards. Garrigan was not fooled there. They're able to stretch that play out. C.J. McGregor, Ethan Marceau among the guys that made that happen. As you look on the high-V replay, McGregor did a really good job of just getting off his block and making an open field tackle.
Yeah, and then Marceau coming in to finish things up. He just does, he's such an amazing athlete going side to side.
So now a 2nd and long coming up for Audubon after the loss of 3. Missing a second down from the 25-yard line. Put Austin Christensen in motion now. Here's a run for a couple of yards, and the pile going to help a little bit more with that. They still haven't blown the play dead. Inside the 20 to the 19-yard line with Carson Wessel taking the snap and picking up about 6 yards.
Yeah, just continuing to push forward right there. I'd still look at Audubon to do a little bit more of this, Trevor, as far as maybe spreading the field to get them out, get the defense maybe a little bit more spread out as well.
3rd down and 6 coming up for the Wheelers. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first half of this 8-player state semifinal. 2 receivers to the left for Kiergaard, 1 to the right. Now he'll put Kasterbauer in motion left to right. Looks like a passing down. Kiergaard over the middle. Weber incomplete. Nicely covered. I think that was Furch in there in the coverage. Did not give Weber any separation. And it's a 4th down coming up for Audubon.
Yeah, very similar to what they had run before. He just kind of did a skinny post there going down the middle of the field, but great coverage right there. And then once again, this is an uncomfortable situation or position for Audubon. Not throwing the ball. They've already thrown the ball 5 times, 1 more than they do usually per game.
So 4th down for Audubon, 2nd one of this possession. This one comes from just inside the red zone. Kiergaard back to pass, and it's intercepted! Picked off by Bishop Garrigan, and down the sideline they will go into Audubon territory. And coming up with the interception was Madden Miller, and the Garrigan defense bows its neck.
Wow, what an outstanding play there, Trevor. Being able to read that from the position that he's at linebacker. He sees him coming across, he drops back, steps in front of him, and then obviously the yards after the interception. Great job there by Marceau, paving a little bit of ground for him. So huge turnover right there.
A 3rd interception of the year for Madden Miller has Garrigan in business in Audubon territory at the 25-yard line. Just over 4 minutes to go here in the half. Furch will hand it off. McGregor gets his first carry of the day up to the 21-yard line. CJ McGregor, the number 2 back in this Garrigan offense, has churned for 557 yards and 11 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have Marceau being the lead blocker for you there, along with their lead blocks, and obviously picking up 4 yards there. So good 1st down play.
Makes it a 2nd and 6 coming up from the 21-yard line. 3:35 to go here in the first half. Here's a run. McGregor left side, cuts back between the hashes and gets to about the 17-yard line. It'll make it a 3rd and short coming up for Bishop Garrigan here momentarily. So CJ McGregor getting a couple of totes here. Nice open field tackle made by Mason Kasterbauer to meet him at the point of attack. Now a 3rd down coming up for the Golden Bears. Furch under center, I formation. He'll give to Marceau. Marceau breaks out a tackle in the backfield and has the 1st down to the 19-yard line.
One of the things that I am noticing here at the latter part of this 2nd quarter, Trevor, is that a lot of the second-level players for Audubon, they're the ones that are making the tackles right now, and that's got to be a little concerning as a coach, because you got to have your front 3, paving that way to make some plays, or get their 2nd level to get upfield to make plays.
1st and 10, they will give McGregor again, and that doesn't go anywhere. Austin Christensen got past his block and makes the tackle. Brody Weber also in the vicinity. As you see on the replay, good job by Christensen just to swim off of his block and drop McGregor for what will ultimately be no gain. 2nd and 10.
Read that gap great.
So now a 2nd and 10 coming up for Garrigan. Just over 2 minutes to go in the half. It's worth noting Audubon will get the football to start the 2nd half. Put a man in motion, and they give on the jet sweep inside the 10-yard line. On that is Michael Joyce. Getting his first touch of the day. Joyce, primarily a blocking receiver for the Golden Bears. It's his 8th rush of the day. Inside the 10, it's a gain of 5. It'll make it 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Yeah, once again, you're in, it's still 2-down territory, is the way I look at it, and I would just keep pounding the rock, as he said earlier on.
So 3rd and 5 for Garrigan. Marceau, the lone back in the backfield. behind Furch. They give to Marceau, breaks out of one tackle, trying to move those legs forward, but he's stonewalled by the Audubon defense. Mason Castrovauer and company in there, now a 4th and short. Coming up for the Golden Bears as we get under 90 seconds to go in the quarter. He broke out of a Austin Christensen tackle in the backfield to make this a very 4th and manageable. 4th and 1 here late in the first half. Garrigan trying to regain the lead. Furch in the eye with Carter McGregor and Ethan Marceau behind him. Furch quarterback run, but I believe they blew the play dead before. And we've got some laundry on the far side. And this is a big call coming up. It's a false start on Bishop Garrigan, so that 4th
Dead
and
ball,
1.
false start, number 5. 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Now becomes a 4th and 6.
Yeah, that really changes everything. Obviously, you saw they were under center getting ready to do a quarterback sneak, but you know, this is a big defensive play. As you mentioned, Audubon gets the football to start the second half as well.
So 4th and 6 coming up for Bishop Garrigan. Under a minute to go and rolling here in the first half. Furch will put a man in motion. Furch rolling right, going to tuck it and run. Has the angle and has a touchdown. Tate Furch says, I'll do it myself. He finds the end zone for the 17th time this year. And Garrigan regains the lead.
Yeah, I'm really noticing right now, to me, that how Bishop Garrigan is getting, you know, they're getting to the edge kind of, I'm not going to say with ease, but because their players up front are doing the job. But boy, they're really able to get outside, and he's been able to either pass or run.
So now 2-point try coming up for Garrigan. They're 1 of 2 on these today. Trying to make this an 8-point lead. The bare minimum, it will be a 6-point lead for them at the end of this possession. Furch running between the hashes, and he is in. And it's an 8-point drive for the Golden Bears towards the end of the first half to take a 22-14 lead. And Tom Peterson through 24 minutes. This seems kind of like a 12-round heavyweight fight.
Yeah, it does. And, you know, I'm just really impressed right now.
So a 7-play, 25-yard drive for Bishop Garrigan that, of course, was highlighted by that Madden Miller interception and long return that you see on the Hy-Vee replay. Garrigan takes advantage of that, and 2 turnovers on the Audubon side have resulted in 2 touchdowns for Bishop Garrigan here today.
It just comes back to bite you, Trevor. You know, you got to take care of the football. You know, even if they would have turned the ball over on 4th down, it's, you know, field position obviously is different there as well. So, you know, Audubon, you still got to feel good with where you're at. You know, you're down by 8 points, 1 possession, still in position to be, you know, to do a lot of different things, especially in the second half. I don't look for them to try a lot of things fancy here in the final 40 seconds.
So Audubon will get the football, and then they get the football to start the second half as well. Ethan Marceau will kick it away for Bishop Garrigan. Marceau's kick will be returnable. Mason Castrovauer fields it inside the 10, and Castrovauer gets brought down around the 16-yard line. So Audubon's got 2 timeouts, only 36 seconds to go though, Tom, and the length of the field. How aggressive are you if you're the Wheelers here at the end of the half?
Well, I'm probably just going to, you know, do what I do. I would run the football because, like, you know, we've already mentioned this, Trevor. When you get the ball to start the second half, you definitely don't want to make this a 2-possession ball game, having already turned the ball over twice. So you just want to make sure that you value the football here.
Titan Schroyer made the tackle on that kick return. Now Audubon's going to start this drive on their own 16-yard line. Kiergaard, quarterback run, gets by 1 in the backfield and up to the 23-yard line and out of bounds as well. So if you're unfamiliar in the high school football game, the clock stops when you go out of bounds, or on a first down in the final minutes, it'll stop to move the chains. So they stop the clock, and it'll be a gain of 7 and a 2nd and 3 coming up. I think, like you said, Tom, if you're Audubon, you're running your offense, and if something pops, and maybe you change your point of attack in the final moments.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're running trips out here. I see them running pretty much the same play that they just did.
30 seconds to go here in the half. Kiergaard taking the snap and will get the first down. Again, spun out of bounds on the Garrigan sideline, on the Audubon sideline. C.J. McGregor makes the tackle.
Very fortunate there because he a little aggressive there after the whistle and out of bounds, but still picked up the first down.
Yeah, McGregor does a good job of not letting Kiergaard get any more of that, any more than what he got. Guides him out of bounds, and it's a first down for Audubon. With 26 seconds to go, they've got the ball on their own 28-yard line. Still 2 timeouts in their back pocket if they wish to use them. Trips left. And Kiergaard rolling right, wanting to throw. Kiergaard winds and fires downfield, incomplete. Want to go to Brody Weber. There was really good coverage from Garrigan, not a receiver to be open for Audubon. Michael Joyce, McGregor, Furch among those applying the coverage. And now it's second down for Audubon with 19 seconds to go.
Yeah, it's not a prevent defense, Trevor, but you can definitely see that they're not going to let anything get behind them in this situation before halftime.
So second down now for the Wheelers from the 28-yard line. Interesting spot for Audubon, knowing they get the football to start the second half. Of the snaps over the head of Kiergaard. Kiergaard's going to have to scramble for it. He couldn't get to it, and Garrigan's going to slide on it. The one thing Audubon did not want to happen at the end of the half does is Matt Besh ends up getting the fumble recovery. And the Golden Bears are in business again in the final moments of the half.
Yeah, just a high snap there, one that got through his hands, and unfortunate for Aiden. Kiergaard didn't get the hop that he wanted to fall on the ball there. So just as you and I talked about, you didn't want to turn the ball over at this situation, in this situation of the game, but here we are again.
Third turnover of the half for Audubon, and on the first 2, Bishop Garrigan was able to capitalize, as Garrigan, interestingly, is going to call their final timeout of the half. So they've got 11 seconds, no timeouts. You see the fumble again on the Hy-Vee replay, just over the head of Kiergaard. Tried to chase down, looked like it ricocheted off his knee. And then Matt Besh, among the bevy of Golden Bears in there, he's the one that's able to pounce on it.
And I couldn't tell if Aiden was trying to pick the ball up there to run, but in that situation, and once again, you got to remember, the kid is just a sophomore. I know that he's played all season long. He's been in some difficult situations, but this is a pressure situation for kids, playing here in the Unidome and obviously in the state semifinals.
So Garrigan's going to have 11 seconds, first down and goal to go, but no timeouts.
It wouldn't. I don't. Trevor. I'm assuming that they called 2 plays here as they come out of the huddle. I would see him probably rolling out to the right because you don't want to get tackled inbounds here. Obviously, with only 11 seconds to go.
So 11 seconds left in the half. Garrigan trying to capitalize on the Audubon turnover. Got the ball on the 6-yard line. Furch rolling right. Cuts back, man wide open, it's caught, touchdown, Garrigan, it's Matt Miller making the catch.
Great play call there. He sneaks out, he goes on the backside, kind of a little bit of a delay as you can see there, and then like I said, he sneaks out back across the football field, wide open.
6th catch of the year and 4th touchdown catch of the season for junior Matt Miller. He's had his paws all over this game. Had the interception and the long return earlier. Then he gets a touchdown catch on the 23rd touchdown pass of the year from Tate Furch. And now the Golden Bears trying to add to their lead in the final moments of the first half. On the 2-point try, they will give to Joyce. Little double pass, and guess who? Miller makes the catch, and it's a 30-14 Garrigan lead off that, and Tom Peterson, a good job by Garrigan to capitalize on the short field. 1 play, 6 yards. They take advantage of the fumble recovery. They get an 8-point possession.
Yeah, first of all, a great play. Obviously on the touchdown where he rolls out right, which is what we thought he might do, throwing it back. But then the 2-point conversion, you're kind of pulling some things out of the hat there. Just a great call there to make sure that you get and solidify those 2 points, because you want to make sure that you keep it, as if you can, 16 points. Obviously, so it makes it so Audubon, if they do score, they have to produce, obviously, on their conversion as well.
Down to the waning seconds of the first half here in game number 1 of 2 8-player semifinals, kicking off a fun stretch of 14 games over 4 days here in Cedar Falls. And then we're going to have so much fun that we'll come back next week and have 7 state championship games between Thursday and Friday. You see the 8-player semifinals. Everybody undefeated on the road to the Dome. Only one of them is going to be undefeated when it's all said and done. So barring something crazy, this is going to be the final play of the half on this kick return. Garrigan will kick it away. Gage Meyer, the kicker, and they'll just go a short kick. Hayden Larson's actually going to hop on it at around the 37 with only 1 second going off the clock. And Tom, now if you're Audubon, are you tempted here to take a shot?
You know, Trevor, you caught me off guard there because I'm just kind of, I'm kind of baffled right there because their kickoff coverage has been so good so far. Kind of just threw me a little off guard, but we just had the snap go through his hands. I don't take the chance here. I'm probably going to run the football or even just take a knee.
So final play of the half with 4 seconds to go. Audubon's got it near midfield at their own 37. Carson Wessel in at quarterback. Wessel unwinds downfield, and it's intercepted by Furch. Furch going to try to return it. It gets up to the 21-yard line before Jorgen Nowatzki brings him down. That is how the half will end. So it's halftime here in 8-player state semifinal action. Bishop Garrigan leading Audubon 30-14 as we head to the locker room. You're watching the Iowa High School Athletic Association football semifinals presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. We'll be right back on the Hy-Vee Championship Network.
You come alive in the dead of winter and start work early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to move, plow, blow, and thrive in the winter. So when the snow falls, you could rise to meet it. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $6,800.
Visit GoKubota.com today to find your local Kubota dealer.
High school activities have given me the opportunity to get involved and make new friends.
Compete in sports that I love and meet new people.
Do something I love while building the programs in my community.
Not just be a role model off the court, but also be a role model on the court.
Make connections and meet new people.
They've given me a reason to work hard and better myself for the future. Set good examples to the younger athletes.
Have a positive impact on my community.
Help us support Iowa high school activities.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Today's banking is about so much more than numbers. It's about people. It's about community. It's about the next generation. Banking is personal. That's what we believe. And that's why we'll always put you first. Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on.
Halftime coverage is brought to you by Northwest Bank, proud to power our local communities with personal and business banking that never stops working for you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Unidome, where we've reached the Northwest Bank halftime of our first 8-player semifinal of the day. The score through 2 quarters, Bishop Garrigan leading Audubon 30-14. And just like a great team, success in business takes planning, dedication, and trust. That's why businesses count on Northwest Bank, where personal and business banking never stops working for you. Member FDIC. With the teams in the locker rooms, we're going to step aside for a message from title sponsor Iowa Farm Bureau and a fun highlight of champions from the last school year at the Athletic Association.
Thanks for joining us for the 2025 IHSAA State Football Championships. I'm Chris Cuellar, Communications Director at the Iowa High School Athletic Association. We hope you're enjoying the competition our member schools are putting on today. At the Iowa High School Athletic Association, we're deeply grateful for the incredible support that makes this event possible, and no partner plays a more pivotal role than our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau. With me here today is Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Good to be with you, Chris.
First off, I'd like to thank the Iowa Farm Bureau for being the sole title sponsor of our state football championships and a longtime supporter of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. What do you think makes education-based activities so special in Iowa, and why is it important for organizations like Iowa Farm Bureau to be involved with events like this?
Well, Chris, at the Iowa Farm Bureau, we believe that strong farms and strong schools go hand in hand. Just as the student athletes competing here today are among the nation's best, Iowa's farmers are among the nation's most productive, leading the way in corn, hog, and ethanol production, but also in pioneering conservation efforts. Iowa ranks #1 in water quality, wetlands, bioreactors, grassed waterways, filter and buffer strips, pollinator habitats, and conservation tillage. As proud title sponsors, we're excited to celebrate the strength and spirit of Iowa's farmers and student athletes. Their resilience defines what it means to be farm strong and makes these games and our state truly special.
With these games being a high point of the high school experience for so many student athletes, can you describe how Iowa Farm Bureau makes sure its sponsorship goes beyond the event itself?
The championship games are an important moment, but we want our impact to last much longer. That's why we're proud to support them throughout the year through our work with the Iowa High School Athletic Association and the Girls Union to sponsor concussion insurance at no cost for all boys and girls participating in the practice and play of all sports sanctioned by the organizations. It's an extremely important program and just one way that we feel we can help look out for the long-term well-being of student athletes. In addition to concussion coverage, the Iowa Farm Bureau is one of the state's largest scholarship providers, contributing over $250,000 in scholarships each year to Iowa's students. Right now, we're accepting applications for our scholarships, so we encourage students to visit our website for more information. And knowing teachers play a critical role in shaping our students' futures, we also provide grant programs to help educators offset costs for much-needed education resources, helping to enhance classroom experiences in schools across Iowa.
Adding to that incredible list of support, the Iowa Farm Bureau also sponsors the IHSAA's Governor Scholar Recognition Ceremony. I always see members of the Farm Bureau team at the event alongside our Athletic Association staff. Could you share why you think it's so important for your organization to be involved?
At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we believe that today's students are the future leaders of our state. By supporting the Iowa Governor's Scholar Program, we have the privilege of being present to honor more than 400 of Iowa's brightest academic achievers. These students are not only excelling in their classrooms, but they are also the future leaders who will help shape Iowa's progress. This initiative is deeply important to our organization, our members, and all Iowans, as it highlights the value of education and leadership in moving Iowa forward.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Brent, and for your continued support of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Your partnership has been essential in helping us grow student services through recognition programs, grants, and scholarships. We truly appreciate your commitment to education-based activities and the students we serve across Iowa.
I don't get it. Why is there uneven crop emergence out here?
Great question, Jill. From what I've seen, soil compaction from your sprayers and grain carts is the likely culprit. This can hinder root penetration and emergence along field edges.
What would I do without you, Tom?
Hey, that's what I'm here for. Let's catch up later. I'm needed over in Monroe County.
From personalized insights to year-round support, Channel Seed pros always show up. Channel, all in, all season.
Nice guy.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
You love our lineup of legendary Pizza Ranch pizzas. And now, get ready to love the Big Popper. Loaded with cream cheese, Italian sausage, jalapenos, sweet peppadew peppers, and a honey hot sauce drizzle. A little sweet, a little heat, and a whole lot of flavor. Try the Big Popper Pizza, along with our new Chicky Chicky Boom Boom Salad. Only for a limited time, only at Pizza Ranch.
Whether you volunteer or hang with friends, play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
Hello and welcome to the Iowa High School Athletic Association's Football Halftime. I'm Communications Director Chris Cuellar, and joining me today is ISL Education Lending President and CEO Steve McCullough. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Can you explain what the synergies are between what the Athletic Association is doing and what the work of ISL Education Lending for Iowa students?
Well, our purpose is to help students and families succeed in education and career after high school. As a nonprofit, we offer low-cost private student loans. We also offer scholarships and college planning tools to help families make wise choices.
I assume there's some people watching who just heard the word scholarships. Can you tell me a little more about that?
So, right now, you can register to win one of 45 $1,000 scholarships. They're for high school students, college students, and their parents. And you can register at iowastudentloan.org, or you can scan the QR code on the video board. You need to register by December 5th.
What are some other resources that people should take away here about ISL Education Lending?
Well, we just launched a new scholarship search service called Step 1 Scholarship Search. It's free for use, and it's customized and personalized so you can find scholarships that are a match for you. For more information about Step 1 Scholarship Search Service or any of our other programs, go to iowastudentloan.org.
We got a lot of overlap there with our high school students either on the field or hopefully watching at home. Hopefully they can take advantage of those resources. Steve, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Into the end zone. Wow, it's a great pull. Here again. Wants to throw deep. Has a man open. Coopsy catches it at the 10. Turns into the end zone. And the celebration begins here for the Grundy Center Spartans. A wide open receiver. Makes the catch and pulls into the end zone for a touchdown. What a performance. North Polk goes undefeated. They will hoist the state's biggest trophy.
not just lighting a stadium. We're creating lasting memories. We're not just installing a mini pitch. We're empowering youth to learn and grow. We're not just retrofitting an airport. We're creating an environment where workers can feel safer. This is why, whether it's a game down the street, professional stadiums around the world, or treasured monuments and landmarks, you always know when it's must go.
What does commitment mean? To protect what's important, to invest in the future. It means providing peace of mind. It's what reliable people do. It's what local banks do. Banking in Iowa goes beyond transactions. Banks work to help people and small businesses succeed. And Iowa banks are proud to be trusted partners in building confident banking relationships. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all.
Need money for college? Our scholarship registration is quick and easy. ISL Education Lending Scholarship is open to both students and parents. Visit iowastudentloan.org/award for details. Multiple awards are available, and you'll learn valuable financial literacy tips as part of the process. Register online today for your chance to win $1,000.
There's a kind of magic to making memories, to finding time for the little things and the big things, the new things, and the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest, of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fairway, closed on Sunday, open for life.
Halftime was brought to you by Northwest Bank, proud to power our local communities with personal and business banking that never stops working for you. Member FDIC.
We're back. Northwest Bank halftime, 8-player semifinals. Trevor Rader, Tom Peterson with you. Garrigan leading Audubon 30-14. Tom, real quick, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, you just can't turn the ball over if you're Audubon. I think you and I talked real quick, Trevor. It led to 22 points for Bishop Garrigan, and right now that's the story of the game. You know, if they can get rid of those turnovers, I think they're going to still be in good position.
Well, before the third quarter gets going, here's a glance at the first half stats thanks to Sukup, and the yardage pretty similar.
Yeah, you as a defensive team right now, both sides have got to be pretty pleased. If you're only giving up 125 and 121 yards total, respectively, on both sides, you've got to be feeling pretty good. And the biggest thing, if you're Audubon, don't push a panic button. Continue to be what you are. Run the football. You're only down 2 possessions, so there's no reason or need to panic.
Closed captioning on today's over-the-air networks presented by Sukup Manufacturing. Sukup, the world's largest family-owned grain bin manufacturer and proud supporter of Iowa high school activities. This has been the Northwest Bank halftime. Northwest Bank, proud to power our local communities with personal and business banking that never stops working for you. Member FDIC. You're watching the Iowa High School Athletic Association football semifinals presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. We're about ready for the second half here on the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Audubon and Bishop Garrigan in this 8-player semifinal. Winner moving on to the state championship game next Thursday, and we are underway here in the second half. And this kick will be returnable for Audubon. Jorgen Nowatzki brings it up to the 25 and to the 28-yard line. A flag comes in, so we'll have to check the marker. And that will determine where Audubon begins their first drive of the second half. But Tom, as you mentioned, if you're Audubon, still want to run your offense.
Yeah, and one of the things here I'm going to mention real fast, if you're Audubon, you got to rely on your seniors right here.
We have a hold, 31 on the offense.
So it will be a hold on Audubon.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
That'll back them up, as you were saying.
You got to rely on your senior leadership here. These guys got to pick, it's their job to pick up, especially someone like Aiden Kiergaard, who's only a sophomore. He's nervous. You can tell that. You got to be there, pick him up. Next play, like I said, you got 24 minutes of football left. Go have some fun and get the job done.
So Audubon will start this drive, the 19-yard line. Down 2 scores to start the second half. Wheelers undefeated on the year. Aiden Kiergaard in at quarterback. put a man in motion. It's Mason Kasserbauer on the right side. Kiergaard, quarterback run, gets about a yard. That was sniffed out. Weston Rosenmeyer makes the tackle for Bishop Garrigan. It'll be 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Wheelers.
Great job there by number 53. He sheds that block from...
it's Carter Schwab that gets through the block.
Yeah, he shed that from Meyer coming across, excuse me. So just a great job there, especially with pad level.
So now a 2nd down coming up for Audubon. Early on of the second half of the state semifinal. Kiergaard will have a friend in the backfield with him. Looks to be Mason Kasserbauer on his right hip. And they will give Kasserbauer. Kasserbauer gets back a handful of yards, just shy of the 1st down to the 28-yard line. And a 3rd and short coming up for Audubon on their opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, I would like to see them maybe get him a little bit more involved. He only had 1 carry in the first half. They relied on Kiergaard quite a bit with 15 touches. Just to mix things up a little bit. They're obviously keying on Kiergaard.
3rd and short for the Wheelers. 3rd and 1 to be exact from their own 28-yard line. Big play for Audubon, trying to climb out of this 2-score deficit. Kiergaard, run, and it's going to be close. And the initial judgment is that he did not get it, and that's going to make it a 4th and short coming up for Audubon. A very, very tough decision for Coach Sean Burks here.
Great job there by Marceau coming from behind once again, Trevor. They tried to run a little bit of misdirection there, but here it is, a 4th and a foot. I would like to see him go underneath center, but I know that they're not comfortable doing so.
So 4th and 1 coming up for Audubon on their opening drive of the half. Kiergaard, quarterback run, gets the 1st down. Actually, it was Wessel into the game. A little fool the announcer. Does Carson Wessel on the quarterback run. It's up to the 32-yard line and fresh set it down.
And that's an excellent block, as you see right there with Meyer on their middle linebacker. Marceau was coming with the blitz just to give him enough room there to get the 1st down.
1st down for Audubon, and now we've got a timeout on the field. And it's a Garrigan timeout very early in the half. Let's give some love to the Audubon big guys up front paving the way. Sully McLean, Clay Van Arnhem, and Lane Meyer. We talked about the beef that Garrigan's got on their front line. Well, Audubon goes 210, 230, 245. And Tom, as you can attest to, in the 8-man game, when you've got big fellas up front paving the way, it makes your job a lot easier.
Yeah, you're going to continue to find ways to run the football. These guys are doing an excellent job up front. Every once in a while, we've talked about this before, Trevor, in regards to getting behind in the chains. And when they do that, they're uncomfortable. So, they just got to continue to pound the ball. Let those guys do their job up front. But then you've got, the 2 ends that you and I have talked about with Brody Weber at 6'5", 210, Austin Christensen at 6'3", 180 helping block. So, it's early here in the 3rd quarter. You're only down 2 possessions. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then that's all you can do at this time.
See the Audubon student section, the Audubon faithful making the trek east to Cedar Falls. Couple-hour drive for
some of my basketball players in there. So
nice
shout out to them.
For some of the Wheeler faithful here in Cedar Falls today. Good crowd on both sides. The fine folks from Garrigan making the trek down from Algona. 1st down for Audubon out of the timeout. Kiergaard keeps it. Bounces off a tackle up to the 37. Ball came out.
Wow.
On the sideline, Garrigan's on it. Weston Rosenmeyer comes up with the fumble recovery, and it's the 5th turnover of the day for Audubon.
What a play, Trevor. What a play. He comes from behind, strips it, and he gains control right away as soon as he does this. That's just an outstanding football play.
See it on the Hy-Vee replay. The old peanut punch, so to speak, maybe more of just a strip. I mean, he straight just plucks it away. That takes a lot of strength.
Yes, it does. That's just a great football play right there.
So the fumble recovery by Weston Rosenmeyer is going to give Garrigan the football back in Audubon territory at the 38-yard line. Furch fakes the pass out of the backfield, takes a shot downfield to Joyce. He's got it. 10-5, touchdown Garrigan. They cash in on the turnover once again in a little 6-7 celebration from Michael Joyce.
Yeah, you know, their leading receiver coming into this football game with 25 receptions and 7 touchdowns. Let's add one more on to it. Great play called there. A lot of times after a turnover, that's something you'll do is try to take a chance to go long.
Yeah, they faked the swing pass out of the backfield to C.J. McGregor, and then Michael Joyce gets a step on his defender, and for the 4th time today, Garrigan's able to turn an Audubon turnover into points, and now the Golden Bears will try to make this an 8-point possession as they go for 2. Furch under center. 2nd touchdown pass of the day, by the way, for Furch. He will toss to Marceau. Marceau trying to get right side, strung out well by Audubon. Marceau just lowers the shoulder and is into the end zone for the successful 2-point try.
Yeah, that's just some bully ball, Trevor, is all that is. You know, that's a senior going up against some younger kids there, and you can see here, Kiergaard's trying, he gets him down, so give him credit there, but falls forward.
This drive recap, very easy. 1 play and a touchdown pass from Tate Furch to Michael Joyce, and Garrigan now up 38-14 here early on. You see the fumble recovery on your screen by Weston Rosenmeyer that prompted that.
And that's just a great play. You know, that's nothing. Kiergaard, you don't see him coming from behind in that situation. Obviously, you want to make sure you secure the football, but it's hard to do that when they're right there.
And Furch to Joyce connecting for the touchdown. 8th touchdown catch of the year for Michael Joyce. And now Ethan Marceau will tow it away for the Golden Bears here early on in the 3rd quarter.
Still plenty of time.
Kick will be returned by Jorgen Nowatzki. Nowatzki up to the 30 along the sideline. 40, 30. They needed a spark and they get it. Touchdown, Jorgen Nowatzki. No flags, and the Wheelers get this down to 38-20.
Yeah, you know, that's just great job of a wall over there on the far sideline, and, you know, credit him to finding that little gap that's there.
So a special teams touchdown gives a little life to the Wheelers. You see Jorgen Nowatzki had nobody around him once he hit the 2nd level. He takes that to the house, and now Audubon will go for 2. Trying to cut into this lead. So we've had, I believe, like 5 offensive plays in this, 5 total plays in this half and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
On the 2-point try, the snap is over Kiergaard's head. He will track it down and gets spun down by Matten Miller near midfield. Now, 2-point try is not returnable for the defense in the high school game. Had Kiergaard not been able to get that, but a 2-point try unsuccessful. Now it's 38-20, and you see again on the Hy-Vee replay.
Doesn't get touched at all.
Big spark for the Wheelers here, Tom,
yeah.
on that touchdown run.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just right there, this is the 2nd time. You know, they had that high snap right before half as well. Just some things that you can touch up on the sideline in between possessions. No need to panic. You know, it's just something you can clean up, so they'll be fine.
So the Jorgen Nowatzki kick return makes it 38-20. As sole title sponsor of the Iowa High School Athletic Association, Iowa Farm Bureau provides millions of dollars in awards, recognition programs, grants, and scholarships, helping to support student achievement on the field and in the classroom. Trevor Mader, Tom Peterson with you here today. 8-player state semifinal action. You see Garrigan head coach Marty Wadley on your screen at home. Also the Garrigan faithful I mentioned made the trek down south for them.
Yeah. Great crowds here today. It is. It's awesome.
It's a Garrigan group that they have grown accustomed to trips to Cedar Falls, their 3rd straight trip. Now Audubon on the kick will go onside, and there's a scramble for it. I think Garrigan was able to get on it cleanly. Initially, Matt Besh was the first guy to touch it. Caden Graves comes up with it. And Garrigan will take over now on the 37-yard line. Not totally surprised to see that there, Tom.
Well, you know, I still believe you should try to, you know, he's had some touchbacks this year. The kicker has. He's got a strong leg. Maybe it's just a little bit too soon, I feel. But, you know, defense has got to step up. You've got 9:16 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's pretty much still 2 quarters of football to go.
So 1st down for Garrigan on the 38-yard line. And here's a run, Marceau. Not much there for the taking. Austin Christensen, Jorgen Nowatzki. among those in there for the tackle, maybe a yard.
That's just a great job there once again, Trevor. Austin Christensen, special football player, is able to read that, shoots the gap, makes the play. Obviously, he's a tough guy to bring down, so just a great play there by Christensen in the backfield.
So now second down for Garrigan. 8:40 to go here in the third quarter. Marceau up the middle, up north of the 40 and Audubon territory. Then the pile will stop him. Isaac Sorensen among those in there to meet him at the point of attack. And a third down coming up for Garrigan, but on the Audubon side of the field on the 39-yard line.
Yeah, see, that's where this onside kick comes back into play. If they kick the ball deep, maybe they're in one down territory, but where they got the football right now currently, they could probably look at taking 2 plays to get this. Maybe it's a run 2 times, so we'll see.
So 3rd and 7 coming up for Garrigan. Furch all alone in the shotgun, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Now he'll put McGregor in motion. Fakes to McGregor. Furch running. First down, and then slides at the 31-yard line. Tate Furch needed 7, gets about 8. He'll keep the chains moving for Garrigan.
Great misdirection here on this replay. You see that. Fakes the ball there to number 22, McGregor. Gets a couple of guys pulling, leading the way for him to pick up the first down.
Fresh set of downs now for Bishop Garrigan after the 8-yard run by Tate Furch. Rapid fire here in the second half so far. Audubon turnover turns into a Garrigan touchdown. Then Audubon special teams play results in a touchdown. Now Garrigan trying to counter. There's a give, Marceau. Marceau gets a good block on the end, and then Mason Kasserbauer does a good job of tackling him in the open field, but a hard-fought run by Ethan Marceau nets about 5 yards.
Yeah, and that's a great open field tackle, as you're going to see here by Kasserbauer. Not the biggest guy in the world, but I've seen him all season long. That kid, he comes up and he puts the hurt on people. But obviously, you're not gonna do anything to hurt that kid there with Marceau running the football. But that's a great open field play.
Gain of 6 makes it a 2nd and 4. Coming out for Bishop Garrigan at the Audubon 25-yard line. Furch will go under center. Marceau, the lone back behind him. And they will feed Marceau. Marceau, it's a yard or 2 out of that. Brody Weber makes the tackle. And 3rd and short coming up. And I would imagine Garrigan is totally fine in this situation.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to pound the ball, with Marceau. He's just been doing things all game long, especially in short yardage situations. That's who they look to give the ball to. He's got 18 carries for 60 yards right now, so expect him to get the ball.
3rd and 2 coming up for Bishop Garrigan. Furch out of a shotgun, puts it in the belly of Marceau. First down, breaks out of an ankle tackle inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. Ethan Marceau not just showing off the muscles, but showing off the moves as well. You see on the Hy-Vee replay, breaks out of a tackle and finally brought down by Austin Christensen.
And that was a great job there of Marceau hanging onto the football. As you see that Christensen came in trying to strip that, but that's just, once again, it's coming back to him being a senior and having that strength to hang onto the football.
3rd down conversion makes it 1st and 10 for Garrigan from the Audubon 15-yard line. Midway through the 3rd quarter of this 8-player state semifinal. Furch, quarterback run up the middle inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. That is the 11th carry of the day for Tate Furch.
You had Carter Schwab leading the way going up through there, and then, with Marceau. Those are 2 guys that are extremely difficult. You're going to see in this replay, they're hard to fight off to get to that ball carrier, and they're dropping the hammer on kids. And so Audubon's going to have to do a better job right now of the guys up front. They're going to have to shed blocks and make some plays.
2nd down and 4 for Bishop Garrigan from inside the 10-yard line. Furch feeding Marceau. Marceau with a head of steam down to the 5-yard line. And it looks like it'll be a 3rd and short coming up for Bishop Garrigan. And I say short, I mean very short.
And you kind of cracked me up there, Trevor, because you said feeding him the ball, and that's exactly what I would continue to do in this situation. You've got some kids down there on defense with hands on their hips, hands on their knees. This is going to gain confidence for the offensive side right here.
3rd and short Actually, they will reset the chains and say it's a first down. And guess what? They'll feed Marceau, and Marceau to the 2-yard line before being stood up. Mason Kasterbauer among those in there to make the tackle. But Ethan Marceau getting the workload here on this possession.
Audubon's wanting to fumble there. It looks like maybe he thought that he stripped the ball.
See on the high-V replay, looks like he was... maybe a knee was down before it was plucked out. That's,
It's a great job by the officials there.
2nd and goal now coming up for Garrigan. Furch under center. And quarterback sneak. Furch spins off a would-be tackler who's in the end zone. Touchdown Bishop Garrigan. 2nd rushing score of the day for Tate Furch. And the Golden Bears grow their lead with a methodical drive.
Yeah, just once again, just running the football. I don't believe that they passed the ball once there. You know, and when you're doing that, that's just going to wear down your opponent. And it's obviously it's starting to take its toll, especially on the guys that are up front for Audubon. So maybe they might have to throw some different guys in there just to give them a little bit of a breather.
So Bishop Garrigan, they haven't done this today, but throughout the year they have kicked PATs. Gage Myers, 37 of 46 on the year on those, and that one is blocked. It was a very low line drive kick, so just a 6-point possession for Garrigan. But they now lead 44-20 after the touchdown run by Tate Furch. And the drive recap of that, Tom, you know, Garrigan takes advantage of the short kick in the short field, but they just chunked away on that possession.
And you know, and just stuck to what they do.
You see on the high-V replay, one of the runs that set it up.
I think
Furch,
that was third and 7. Yep, absolutely. And then just feeding him the football, and just like you had said, methodical. It's just kind of wearing down the defense, not only physically but mentally as well.
That's kind of been Garrigan's MO over the years. I know in their quarterfinal win against Don Bosco on Thursday night, that's what they did. I think it was actually a tie game late in the second half or second quarter before Garrigan started to kind of do what they do. Go back to when they won a state championship game 2 years ago against Bedford. That was how they did it. It was a tight game at half, and they came out and they made the plays in the second half and were able to, just the way they play.
Absolutely.
Very physical, and it's tough to sustain for 48 minutes.
Yes, it is. And if you don't have the guys, you know, up front as an opponent, you're going to struggle. And right now, they're just running the football kind of at will.
You see the Sioux Cup stats, 205 total yards for Garrigan here today. Jorgen Nowatzki will try to return this from inside the 5, bobbled it on the first touch, and he gets gobbled up inside the 5. And that'll be where Audubon begins their next drive. They were trying really hard not to give him a direct kick that he could return, and it worked for the Garrigan special teams.
Yeah, that's a great pooch kick. You can see, especially when it's on the turf like that, you don't know which way the ball is going to bounce, and obviously a favorable bounce there for the Golden Bears.
So Audubon will take over on their own 4-yard line, 3.5 to go here in the third quarter. 44-20 advantage Bishop Garrigan. Kiergaard will hand off Kasterbauer. He almost fumbled it, breaks out of a tackle in the backfield that would have been a safety, then breaks out another tackle and gets up around the 15-yard line. That was near disastrous for Audubon. A good job by Kasterbauer to turn nothing into something.
Yeah, first of all, like you had said, Trevor, great job of securing the football after he bobbled it, because you could see 46, Miller was out there licking his chops right there, but a great job of him making him miss by Kasterbauer and running the football and obviously getting 9 yards on the carry.
So now a second down coming up. Well, they will actually, yeah, second one coming up for Audubon. Here's a run. Kasterbauer, ball came out as he hit the ground. I didn't say he was down, and the ground caused the fumble. So now they're starting to feed Mason Kasterbauer a little bit more, Tom.
Yeah, you know, and we had touched up on that coming out. You can see here in the replay, he's getting some chunks there. You know, I would continue to feed him the ball because defensively wise, their eyes are going to be on Kiergaard. So, you know, just continue to mix it up here. There's still plenty of time left here.
1st and 10 now for Audubon from the 21-yard line. Kiergaard, quarterback run, right side, gets about a yard or two. Soaring in to clean things up, C.J. McGregor.
5'9", 150-pound sophomore. Read that well and only allows Kiergaard to gain 2. We'll make it 2nd and 8 coming up now for Audubon with 2.5 to go here in the third quarter. Shotgun look for the Wheelers. Kasserbauer will be the back on the right side of Kiergaard on the 2nd down play. Kiergaard running up the middle and bounces it left side. Nice open field tackle made by Michael Joyce. 3rd and short coming up. 3rd and about, long 3, short 4. And Tom Peterson, if you're Coach Schomburg, you're attacking this like you've got 2 plays to get these couple yards.
And right there they changed things up. I think that's probably almost the first time they didn't have a pulling guard. They just did a straight dive play with the lead blocker. And I think that actually looked like it gave them a little bit of room to run the football.
3rd down coming up for Audubon. And they will run it. Kasserbauer. Kasserbauer gets the 1st down and has got it out of bounds by McGregor just south of midfield at around the 39-yard line. Mason Kasserbauer, that's his 3rd carry of this drive.
Great job there by the offensive line, creating that hole. And, if you're offense, you got to get a little pep in your step. You've gotten a couple of 1st downs. You got to show a little bit of fire down there, get some things rolling.
Fresh set of downs for the Wheelers at their own 39-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Kasserbauer again up to the 35-yard line into Garrigan territory. 4th carry of this possession, 6th of the day for Mason Kasserbauer. Audubon over 150 rushing yards as a team today.
And he's getting a quick breather, but he's running the football hard. They're creating some holes there. They've obviously found something right here on this drive by handing off the football to their running back.
2nd down coming up for the Wheelers, and as Kasserbauer gets a breather, Carter Obermeyer comes into the game for the Audubon offense. They will give to Obermeyer, and he gets stopped for a tackle for loss. Madden Miller has had a really, really good game on both sides of the ball, and he makes the TFL there.
Yeah, just extremely physical, like you had said. I think that's his 4th tackle for loss on the season, but, he's 6'1", 195, Trevor, but, you've got certain football players that just play bigger, and he's a physical specimen that is doing that.
He's had a hand all over this game. Had the interception, a long return, caught a touchdown, caught a 2-point try. 3rd down now for Audubon. The final minute of this quarter. Here's a run. Kiergaard, 1st down and more inside the 25 or the 23-yard line.
I think you're going to see here on that replay, number 52, Lane Meyer. I think he picks up.
Yeah, Meyer.
Yeah, he did.
Did a really good job of picking up Marceau.
Yep.
30 seconds to go in the frame. Audubon putting together a good drive here.
You're down 3 possessions right now, so if you could just get this in, the opportunities are still there. You've still got an entire quarter to play.
Kiergaard wanting to throw, and it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. He had Brody Weber on a short crossing pattern over the middle, but somebody in the Garrigan interior got a paw on it. As we look at the Hy-Vee replay,
you're going to see Christensen comes open in the middle. He threw it a little too soon. Yep. Wow, just have a game, big guy.
Yeah, Madden Miller gets the deflection and makes it 2nd and 10 with 14 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. So 2nd down for the Wheelers at the Garrigan 22-yard line. Kiergaard, 2nd down run, leaps over a defender. Maybe I shouldn't say leap. Gets over a defender to the 20-yard line inside the 20. And that looks to be how the quarter will end. So it's Garrigan 44, Audubon 20 after 3 quarters here at the Unidome. You're watching IHSAA football semifinals presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. More 8-player action on the Hy-Vee Championship Network after this break.
Nothing matters more than our community and our patients.
So when flu season's here, I love that I get to help protect them.
When you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you can earn a 20-cent fuel saver.
Scheduling your flu shot appointment is quick and convenient.
Because you can just walk up when you're shopping or schedule an appointment, whichever works for you.
Allowing you to pick a time that's best for you and your family.
Keeping families and communities healthy feels good. Visit your Hy-Vee pharmacy, get your flu shot, and earn a 20-cent fuel saver today.
I don't get it. Why is there uneven crop emergence out here?
Great question, Jill. From what I've seen, soil compaction from your sprayers and grain carts is the likely culprit. This can hinder root penetration and emergence along field edges.
What would I do without you, Tom?
Hey, that's what I'm here for. Let's catch up later. I'm needed over in Monroe County.
From personalized insights to year-round support, Channel Seed pros always show up. Channel, all in, all season.
Nice guy.
What does commitment mean? To protect what's important, to invest in the future. It means providing peace of mind. It's what reliable people do. It's what local banks do. Banking in Iowa goes beyond transactions. Banks work to help people and small businesses succeed. And Iowa banks are proud to be trusted partners in building confident banking relationships. Iowa Banks, your partner through it all.
Ladies, the bake sale's about to start. Are you ready?
We've got this.
Okay.
Oh, guys, he's here.
Quick start delivery for Janet.
Bring it here. Let's get this bake sale going. Yeah, come on. Best bake sale ever. Oh, yeah. Let's dig in.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision, to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
IHSAA Semifinal Football is brought to you by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the IHSAA, championing youth through sports and education. And by Cookies, epic sauces and bold seasonings. Remember, smart cookies use cookies. And by the Iowa Bankers Association, Iowa Banks, your partner through it all.
On to the fourth we go here in Cedar Falls. Bishop Garrigan leading Audubon 44-20 in our first of two Class A players state semifinals here today. Trevor Mater, Tom Peterson with you. Audubon facing a 3rd and 7 from inside the Garrigan 20 as we start this final frame. Aiden Kiergaard running right side. Will get the first down and more inside the 10 and pushed out of bounds and around the 5-yard line. And Tom, still a lot of football left to be played, but if you're Audubon, this drive has to end in points.
Yeah, great play call here. You've got Sullivan McLean pulling. He gets a great lead block out there to spring Kiergaard free. And you said it, Trevor. You have to score here and convert just to give yourself a chance here in the fourth quarter.
Audubon inside the 5-yard line after the run by Aiden Kiergaard on the first play of the fourth quarter. And Carson Wessel in at quarterback for Audubon on this play. Wessel takes the snap, going left side, cuts back behind a block, puts a move on a defender, reaches for the goal line.
Nice run there.
And he's into the end zone, touchdown, Audubon. Veteran run by Carson Wessel. Ends up finding the end zone for the 14th time this year. You see on the Hy-Vee replay, gets a good block on the edge, puts a move on a defender and reaches for the goal line for the score. And it's 44-26 with a very, very important 2-point conversion coming up for Audubon here early in the fourth quarter.
Great job there by Austin Christensen picking up the middle linebacker blitz.
So a 2-point conversion here would cut it down to a 2-possession game. Audubon will put Christensen in motion, little spinner. They pitch it to Hudson Hooker, the tight end, and he gets in for the 2-point try. Sean Birch says now is the time to go to the bag of tricks, and there was a lot of eye candy on that time.
Absolutely, and this is something they got to have. It's got to give you a little confidence here going forward. With just 12 seconds off the clock here in the fourth quarter, you still got plenty of game left. So this has got to give you, it's got to give you a boost of energy right here, Trevor. And the defense has got to step up. You said it best with some of the drives.
How about that drive for Audubon? They started on their own 4-yard line. They go 12 plays, 76 yards, 3 minutes, 43 seconds, capped off with a touchdown run by Carson Wessel, and it's 44-28 in favor of Bishop Garrigan here early in the fourth quarter. Now, Tom, we saw once in the third, Audubon attempted an onside kick. It didn't work. What do you do here?
I think you kick the ball deep. You've still got a full quarter to play. You're down 2 possessions. You've got time. There's no reason, I feel, to push a panic button. You got to rely on the defense. You got to have confidence in them. They've been playing outstanding defense all season long. I realize you're going up against the #1 team in the state of Iowa, but at the same time, these kids have got to step up right here at this time.
See Coach Marty Wadley on the Garrigan sideline. I'd imagine he is well aware that Audubon could do something here on special teams. They could also just kick it deep with Orrin Voigt and trust their defense. Voigt will kick it deep, and nobody back deep to return for Garrigan. This will roll into the end zone for a touchback. So now Bishop Garrigan going to get their first possession of the fourth quarter. Thanks again to the Iowa Farm Bureau for presenting the Athletic Association's 2025 Football Championship Week. As sole title sponsor of Iowa High School Athletic Association, Farm Bureau recognizes athletic and academic achievement on the field and in the classroom, helping to nurture Iowa's future leaders. Bishop Garrigan will start this drive on their own 15-yard line, 12 seconds into the fourth quarter. Golden Bears up by 16. Would love to put together a long drive here, I'd imagine. Birch, handoff Marceau. Marceau gets to the 19-yard line.
Got to try to get him into some type of a third down here. Great play here, obviously, on first down, but you want to try to make it so they have to get to a third down situation to put some type of pressure on them.
Austin Christensen and Mason Kasserbauer made the tackle for Audubon on that play. 2nd and 6 coming up for Garrigan from the 19-yard line. Shotgun look. Birch has a running back on his left side. Birch will run left side and gets up past the 20, but not much more. Hayden Larson makes the tackle at the 22, so a gain of a couple is going to make it 3rd and short. Coming up for Garrigan.
And this is where you want to be. You've got 3rd and 3 as a defense, and you've got to get ready here. Dig deep. You got to dig deep down in your heart. Find a play find a way to get off the field here on 3rd down.
3rd and short for Garrigan. Early in the fourth quarter, Birch will go under center. Puts it in the belly of Marceau. Marceau gets the first down at the 27-yard line. Fresh set of downs now for Bishop Garrigan.
And once again, just credit to their offensive front, Trevor. They're just getting it done, up front. He's not getting touched until he's 4 and 5 yards downfield.
Carter Schwab, Caden Graves, Nate Lear, the fellas up front that have been paving the way for this Garrigan ground game today. So 1st and 10 for the Golden Bears at the 27-yard line. Handoff Marceau. Marceau, actually no, it is Marceau up to the 39-yard line in 12.
And we talked about it early on with the bigs, and you'll see here with the replay, they've really got the defensive line on their heels right now. They're getting to the second level way too easy, and you're going to have to step up here and make a play defensively wise, which is a lot easier said than done.
Moves the chains once again, and Garrigan near midfield at the 39-yard line. It was the 25th carry of the day for Ethan Marceau, just under 100 yards. 98 to be exact. Just a long of 12 on the day as well. They've been hard earned. They'll give to Marceau, and that'll put him at or just over 100 yards. He picks up a couple in Audubon territory at the 39-yard line.
And even, Trevor, even on this play here, they get him at the point of attack, but he's still falling forward, for a positive 2 yards. It starts to wear on you, not like I said earlier, not only physically but mentally throughout the game. So, just once again, you gotta try to get him to a third down to where you can manage to try to get them off the field.
2nd and 8 coming up for Garrigan. Just over the Audubon side of midfield. They will give it to McGregor. McGregor left side, have a tackle in the backfield. McGregor with the angle and gets spun out of bounds by Mason Kasserauer, and a flag will come in after the run. And there's a flag along the sideline as well. So we'll have to check the markers, but at the moment it looks like a first down run by CJ McGregor. So now the officials will converse.
Looked like a face mask there that he got a hold of a little bit.
The officials have a meeting of the minds.
Personal foul. Face mask, 31 on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
So add the penalty to the end of the run, and you see on the Hy-Vee replay, CJ McGregor breaks out a 1 tackle. And nice long run for him, and then add on the penalty, and Garrigan inside the Audubon 10 here early in the 4th quarter.
Just able to continue to run the football. They don't have it. I think, they've only thrown the football 4 times this entire game, and credit to what they're doing, obviously, offensively wise, up front.
Yeah, my math says just under 200 yards. I believe 185 to be exact. Marceau with the carry for a couple of yards. For Garrigan to the 7-yard line. Gain of 2 will make it 2nd and goal.
And there's definitely some pads popping out there, Trevor. This has been a very physical football game on both sides. So it's been a really good football game to watch, obviously here so far. But see if Audubon can step up here, make a play, and get a stop.
So 2nd down coming up for Garrigan. So they try to grow their lead here early in the 4th quarter. Furch under center, right side, strong side. And there was movement up front. I think it's going to be an encroachment on Audubon. It'll move Garrigan up, but we'll wait for the official word. And survey says
dead ball, encroachment.
Encroachment on Audubon.
77 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And it's kind of been like that all day, Trevor. They've kind of had just a few untimely, errors, whether it be mental errors or physical errors. And, a lot of times you can't do that against a good football team. But when you're out playing the best football team currently in the state of Iowa, it's pretty hard to, to counter that. So
2nd and goal to go from the 3-yard line for Bishop Garrigan. Furch under center, Marceau and McGregor behind him. Give to McGregor. McGregor near the goal line. They're going to mark him just shy. And when I say just shy, I mean just shy.
Kasperbauer shoots a gap here, has a chance to make the play right there in the backfield.
Really good move by McGregor to not let that happen.
Absolutely.
And 3rd and goal to go for Bishop Garrigan as Tate Furch will bring the play in from the sideline. Furch will go under center. This feels like a quarterback sneak. That's exactly what it is. And it is a Tate Furch touchdown. His 3rd on the ground of the day. And just the answer that Garrigan needed to grow their lead.
Once again, I don't believe they passed again in that entire possession. So you'll see her. It's just been methodical drives all day long for Bishop, and so give them credit. They've just been doing an outstanding job up front with all of their guys. Extremely physical, from play 1, and it hasn't stopped here yet. And we're here in the 4th quarter with 7:03 to go.
So Garrigan will go for 2 after the Tate Furch touchdown run. Play fake, Furch rolling right. Madden Miller open. Madden Miller makes the catch. And it's 52-28 in favor of Bishop Garrigan with 7 minutes to go here in regulation. And Tom, that drive, 9 plays, 65 yards, and most importantly for Garrigan, it ends in 8.
Absolutely, and this for Audubon, you had a chance to try to get off the field there a couple of times on 3rd down, and not being able to do that, and this puts him in an uncomfortable situation. You're down by 26 points, so 24, so they're going to have to look to throw the football probably a little bit more than what they would want to here. So, we'll just have to see how the 4th quarter plays out.
Winner of this will face either Gladbrook, Rhinebeck, or Woodbine for all the marbles next Thursday morning. Of course, that Gladbrook, Rhinebeck, Woodbine semifinal, that'll take place later on today. And that could be a very, very fun one.
Some explosive players in that next game for sure.
A lot of athletes all over the field. That's not the case here. There certainly is here as well. Might look a little different as Gage Meyer will kick it away for Bishop Garrigan. Jorgen Nowatzki, who has 1 kick return touchdown today, back to return for Audubon along with Mason Kasperbauer. Meyer will line drive kick it. It was off and Audubon up back, and Garrigan ends up on it. It ricocheted off an Audubon lineman, and that was Titan Schroyer that comes up with the recovery. And Garrigan a chance to grow their lead here early in the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
heavy replay.
That's just unfortunate there, Trevor. That's hard for, a running back or a wide receiver to field, and let alone, a lineman that probably doesn't get as many reps there. So that's just a tough break in one of those situations.
So Bishop Garrigan will take over after recovering the kick on their own 33-yard line. Up 52-28 here in this 8-player state semifinal. Furch under center, Marceau behind him, fakes to Marceau. Furch wants to unwind. Rosenmeyer wide open, touchdown, Bishop Garrigan. They had went run, and the pass was there. And Furch finds Rosenmeyer for the score.
Yeah, what do you do there? You have Ethan Marceau that has just been running the football extremely hard all day long. You'll see here in the replay with a great play action, fools some of the guys at the 2nd level, leaves them wide open receiver back behind him, Rosenmeyer, and easy throw, easy catch.
So the touchdown pass from Tate Furch to Weston Rosenmeyer has grown this Garrigan lead to 58-28 with 6:54 to go here in this one. Now Garrigan will go for 2. There's a whistle and a marker on the 2-point attempt. And I believe that will back Garrigan up, and it will. And make this a 7-yard conversion
Dead ball,
attempt.
false start on the offense, 53. Got the 5-yard penalty, and that'll be assessed on the kickoff.
So now they're trying to make sure they get the spot right. The official said the penalty would be assessed on the kickoff, but where they spotted it for the 2-point conversion is back at the 7-yard line, like the penalty would have been assessed. Tom, as we've seen through
the 5-yard penalty will be assessed from the 3-yard line. We'll replay the down.
As we've seen through the first 40-plus minutes, this is a Garrigan team. They just don't do a lot wrong.
Right. Fundamentally sound, and obviously that starts with the guy that's coaching. He's been there and he's done that.
Furch on this 2-point try. Dumps it to Marceau, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. And Garrigan grows their lead to 60-58 with 6:54 to go. And Tom, a very, very quick drive for Bishop Garrigan, aided by the recovery of the kick.
Yeah, like I said before, just an unfortunate bounce there for Larson, and then just a great job with the play action. If you're Audubon, you got to sell out to try to stop the run, and there's not a whole lot you can do right now. The defense has been on the field for quite a while. So you've got to sell out to stop the run, like I said, and they've got their work cut out for them here in the final 6:54.
60-28 advantage Bishop Garrigan after the touchdown pass moments ago from Tate Furch to Weston Rosenmeyer. And everything going the Golden Bears' way here down the stretch. And as we mentioned earlier, it's kind of what they've been able to do this year is just how physical they play. It really makes it tough for the other team.
Yeah, and it's nonstop, Trevor. I mean, it's monotonous, and it wears on you. And the biggest thing, like I said earlier, not only physically but mentally, when you can't get stops and they're consistently getting 3, 4, 5 yards at a crack, it's just really difficult to get off the field.
Line drive kick will be fielded by Jorgen Nowatzki at the 16-yard line. Nowatzki, who had a return for a touchdown earlier, gets a nice return up to the 35-yard line. And that will be where Audubon is in business. And Tom, 7 minutes to go. Obviously, a lot would have to go Audubon's way to overcome this deficit. I know as a coach, you've been in these situations before. What is the message to your team on the other side down the stretch in the final 7 minutes?
2 words, don't quit. You're here for a reason. You're one of the top teams in the state of Iowa. Not many kids get to finish their season at the Unidome, win or lose.
On first down, here's a run left side. Mason Kasserbauer got strung out by Madden Miller, but Kasserbauer gets a couple of yards out of that to make it 2nd and about 8 coming up for Audubon. Great season for the Wheelers, 11-0. Pretty dominant up until their quarterfinal. They hadn't had a game decided by less than 30 points.
And there once again was Miller. We've said his name a lot today.
Give to Kasserbauer. Kasserbauer with a seam and falls forward near the first down. We'll mark him at the 27-yard line. Video broadcasts of the Iowa High School Athletic Association State Championship events are copyrighted property of the IHSAA. Reproduction or retransmission of these broadcasts without express written consent of the IHSAA is prohibited. Kiergaard will give it to Kasserbauer. Kasserbauer gets dragged down. There's going to be a face mask penalty attacked on the end of that. Kasserbauer gets a couple of yards on that run, and then they'll have yards tacked on with the penalty as well. The officials will converse. If you're just tuning
Personal
in.
foul, face mask, 53 on the defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
There's the
first down.
Call. If you're just tuning in, Audubon led 8-6 after one. A 24-6 Garrigan second quarter gave them a 30-14 lead into the break, and then they've outscored Audubon 30-14 in the second half. As you see in the Hy-Vee replay, the run and penalty. Down to 6 minutes to go in this one. Here's a give to Carter Obermeyer. Nothing there. Actually might have lost a yard or so. Ethan Marceau among those in there for the tackle. Tom, really, the score you're going to look at and go, Garrigan won comfortably, but the difference today, the turnovers in the first half, Audubon had them, and then Garrigan was able to score off them.
Yeah, especially the one right before halftime, Trevor. I'm not a big guy about momentum, but that really obviously sparked Bishop going into halftime.
Here's a pass. Kiergaard, wide open. Christensen over the middle, inside the 10. And finally gets wrestled down at around the 9-yard line. So Audubon trying to cut into this deficit after the catch and run by Austin Christensen. Christensen, one of the handful of seniors for this Wheelers team.
I believe they only start 2 on both sides of the football. So, obviously the future is going to be quite bright.
Carson Wessel among the seniors, Orm Voigt, Jacob Barclay, Jesus Zuniga among those as well, Isaac Sorensen, Austin Christensen, also seniors. Kiergaard will run, follows a block, gets a couple of yards to the 7-yard line. There's 5 minutes to go in this game. 2nd and goal coming up for Audubon. Wheelers trying to get another touchdown on the board here today. They're 28 points, the most Garrigan has given up this year. Kiergaard running left side after faking to Kasserbauer. Not anything there. It'll be 3rd and goal.
What penetration there by Ethan Marceau. Once again, just disrupting things in the backfield. As you can see on that replay, he's coming through untouched. And, you know, obviously as an offensive guru, that's got to be something that's picked up. You can't leave their best player unblocked.
So 3rd and goal now for Audubon, under 4 minutes to go in this one. Kiergaard running, bounces it inside the 5. It'll be a 4th and goal coming up for this Audubon offense from inside the 5-yard line.
Good lead block there by McLean just to pick up some positive yards and make this a manageable 4th down here.
So 4th and goal coming up for Audubon from the 4-yard line. Aiden Kiergaard, 25 carries, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns today. Shotgun look for the Wheelers on this 4th down. Down to 5 left on the play clock. Kiergaard, quarterback run, and he's in. Touchdown, Audubon. Aiden Kiergaard, his 3rd score of the day, his 35th of the year. Makes it 60-34 with a 2-point try coming up here in a moment.
Love what I'm seeing there from the Wheelers, you know, just doing whatever you can. Stay in the game, stay in the moment. There's no quit. That's what you expect out of your kids.
So now Audubon will go for 2, try to get an 8-point possession out of this. See the offset formation on this 2-point try. Option pitch. Kasserbauer wants to throw, and it's caught. Hayden Larson, the big fella, makes the catch. I'm going to guess that he has been wanting that in the playbook for a long time, and you see it there on the high-V replay.
The center.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that snapped the ball, and it got tipped up there, and a fortunate bounce to him. So something he'll remember for sure. Now, if you're Audubon, you got to look for the onside kick, obviously.
Let's drive recap as Audubon scores to cut the deficit down to 60-36. 9 plays, 45 yards, capped off by a touchdown run by Aiden Kiergaard. And with 3:02 to go, it is 60-36. Advantage Bishop Garrigan. And we'll see what the Wheelers do on special teams, knowing that, I mean, you've got 3 minutes and you're down 3 possessions. You've got to steal at least 1 possession somewhere to give yourself a puncher's chance.
Yeah. You know, whatever tricks you got here as far as your onside kick, it's something you got to utilize. Obviously, Bishop Garrigan's going to have their hands team that's going to be out there. They're just so difficult, Trevor, to recover, regardless of where you kick or how you do it. You know, you got to have the bounce go your way for sure.
So Orm Voigt, the kicker for Audubon, senior, will see what they can draw up here and maybe snag a possession, but a steep hill to climb for the Wheelers in the next 3 minutes. And Voigt will kick it over the first line of defense for Garrigan, and it's fielded back at around the 15-yard line by Dalton Clens, and he'll just go down to a knee, and Garrigan will take over now on their own 16-yard line. Exactly 3 minutes to go in this game. And Tom, when you look at the total stats, 289 total yards for Garrigan, 246 for Audubon. And, you know, Garrigan, it has not been anything flashy on the ground at all as you look at the Sioux Cup stats. You know, 209 yards, and they have been hard-earned.
Absolutely.
209 yards. Their longest run is 19 yards. Here's a run, Marceau. He'll get about 5 out of that. Marceau, that is his 28th tote of the day. Picks up 5 yards.
You know, Trevor, I was going to say, defensively wise, if you're Audubon, you haven't played bad. You've just had so many different times that they've put themselves in uncomfortable situations with the 5 turnovers. You know, it's hard to beat an average team with 5 turnovers, and I said that prior, let alone these guys. So both defenses have played, you know, other than that, the stats are pretty much even.
Second down coming up for Bishop Garrigan. Furch will give to Marceau, and Marceau will carry the pile a couple of yards near the first down. Might be just a tad shy. And it looks like he will be. It'll be a 3rd and short. So Bishop Garrigan on their way to another trip to a state final as we get a timeout on the field. This is a program under Coach Marty Wadley. They've made this a frequent thing. They got to Cedar Falls a few years ago. I know they came in, they were actually unranked in the Iowa High School Athletic Association state rankings, and they kind of had ran a gauntlet to get to that point. I believe they beat like 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7 on their way to a state title. They had a lot of underclassmen that contributed to that. They got to the semifinals a year ago and lost a heartbreaker to Remsen St. Mary's. Well, guess what? They had a lot of underclassmen there too, and they have been dominant on their way to today, and they are now on the cusp of playing for another state title next week.
Yeah, you know, they have more seniors, Trevor, which is pretty obvious, with a lot of experience coming in here. As you had mentioned, their 3rd straight year. It's a group of guys that have wanted it, you know. Like you had mentioned 3 years ago, underdogs running, you know, playing that schedule. Last year, just coming up short. This year, this is something that these seniors are, obviously, this is something that they want extremely bad.
3rd and 2, and you see 3rd down has been a really good down for Garrigan today. 7 of 10. Prior to that, making now 8 of 11 as Tate Furch bowls forward for a couple of yards, and that'll move the chains. Tom, I'm going to petition that next week you dress like Marty Wadley and you guys twin.
Yeah, you know, that frame, it's been pretty impressive. You know, as we're looking here, Trevor, he's got 30 carries for 112 yards, maybe 31 carries now. It's a guy defensively wise that you probably don't want to meet coming through in the hole.
So now down to the final 90 seconds, and Garrigan going to be able to kneel this one out. Furch will go down to a knee, and they'll have to do that at least one more time, if not two, as you see on the Audubon sideline, maybe the realization that their fantastic season down to its final couple moments. But what a year for the Wheelers. Definitely don't want to take away from that. Program that's no stranger to Cedar Falls is going to have the pieces to get back here again next year.
Yeah, you know, they have athletes that are ready. You know, I'm familiar with their junior high program, the underclassmen. I wouldn't be shocked if they're here again next year, Trevor.
Furch will go down to a knee, and I think they will have to do it one more time, and they will. There's about a 10-second gap between the game clock and the play clock. Audubon led after one quarter, a big second quarter for Garrigan, where they took advantage of some Audubon turnovers, gave them a lead at the break, and then the Golden Bears held on down the stretch. And they are on their way back to a state title game. Furch goes down to a knee, and the Golden Bears, golden today, they get a 60-36 win over Audubon in this first 8-player state semifinal here on the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Stick around. We'll have awards and our quick star of the game when we come back from our final break.
Health powers life, from the delightfully routine to the truly uncharted. Building a relationship with a primary care doctor is one of the easiest ways to stay healthy. So if you don't have one, get started with Mercy One. From annual wellness visits to screenings and immunizations, our primary care doctors can help you be proactive with your health, ensuring you're ready no matter what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
There's a kind of magic to making memories, to finding time for the little things and the big things, the new things, and the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest, of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fairway, closed on Sunday, open for life.
We're not just lighting a stadium. We're creating lasting memories. We're not just installing a mini pitch. We're empowering youth to learn and grow. We're not just retrofitting an airport. We're creating an environment where workers can feel safer. This is why, whether it's a game down the street, professional stadiums around the world, or treasured monuments and landmarks, you always know when it's must go.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision, to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Nothing matters more than our community and our patients.
So when flu season's here, I love that I get to help protect them.
When you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you can earn a 20-cent fuel saver.
Scheduling your flu shot appointment is quick and convenient.
Because you can just walk up when you're shopping or schedule an appointment, whichever works for you.
Allowing you to pick a time that's best for you and your family.
Keeping families and communities healthy feels good. Visit your Hy-Vee pharmacy, get your flu shot, and earn a 20-cent fuel saver today.
IHSAA Semifinal Football on the Hy-Vee Championship Network is brought to you by Hy-Vee, a proud partner of IHSAA. Hy-Vee, where there is a helpful smile in every aisle. And by Sukup Manufacturing Company, the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. And by the Iowa Farm Bureau. From rural roots to statewide pride, Iowa Farm Bureau proudly supports student athletes across Iowa.
Bishop Garrigan advances to the 8-player state championship next weekend, where they'll face the winner of our next semifinal between Woodbine and Gladbrook Rhinebeck. The Golden Bears a 60-36 winner over Audubon. Audubon's outstanding season comes to a close at 11-1. Tom Peterson, your thoughts on today?
Well, just kind of going back with what Coach Wadley said his keys to success were, and that's exactly what they did. They pounded the rock and they had line play that dominated from start to finish.
And that fellow, one of those guys that pounded the rock really well, highlighting the top performer from this 8-player semifinal, your quick star of the game, Tate Furch. By air, by ground, he did it all for the Golden Bears today.
Yeah, dual threat quarterback that can do pretty much all of it. Just very impressed. He's able to throw on the run as well, Trevor. It's definitely going to be a challenge for whoever they play next week.
On the go, Quick Star's got you covered. Fuel up, grab a bite, and score offers with their Quick Rewards app. Get everything you need, only at Quick Star. Now next week's 8-player championship matchup halfway set. Bishop Garrigan awaiting the opponent from our next semifinal, Woodbine and Gladbrook Rhinebeck. We appreciate you joining us for this coverage on the Iowa High School Athletic Association's 2025 football semifinals presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. We're going to step aside for a bit, but more semifinal action kicking off in about 35 minutes or so from the Unidome in Cedar Falls. From Coach Tom Peterson and the entire production team here in Cedar Falls, and me, Trevor Mader, thanks so much for watching IHSAA football on the Hy-Vee Championship Network.